Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. We're in the middle of the DLC case. Very fun, very good. We were actually having quite a lot of fun with it last time. We got a lot of classic stuff going on. We're versing Edgeworth for the first time in a while, since he's the chief prosecutor. They gave a whole reason to why he's prosecuting this case. Basically, the whole prosecutorial office are pussies, and they don't want to go against the family that they're trying to prosecute, that we're defending. Well, technically, kind of. Via marriage, we're defending them. Currently, we have Larry up on the stand, because he also made a return. Fortunately, Gumshoe didn't. They didn't think to bring the whole cast back, but we got Larry. He's being Larry. So, yeah, that's basically what's happened. You'll pick up on everything. I can't give you a full rundown. It would be better if you just watched the initial stream. But, I guess, abridged, quote-unquote time travel, quote-unquote, that's gonna get explained. I hope it's not real. I don't know. There's a logical solution to this. We can go Edgeworth mode. We're gonna use our logic. The time travel comes in Great Ace Attorney, you know. Alright. Well, I'll quit yapping. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of a wacky case. And we don't know that much. Alright. Let's hop in. Larry, I can't believe you! Anyway, good job. If we compare the photos of the first and second receptions and can find a difference, then we'll be able to prove that the reception was held twice. But do you really think such a difference exists? Yes, Your Honor. I just need some time to find it for you. This is preposterous. Very well. Please show the court what's different, then. This is proof positive that the wedding reception was held twice. Well, I'm looking. I'm identifying. I'm scrounging. Is it the fog? Well, this is the first one, right? The color of the flowers. The flowers are a different color.
Take that!
Got him. Please direct your attention to Miss Wyatt's bouquet of flowers. In the photo one of her in-laws took, the defendant is holding a yellow bouquet. But in the photo Mr. Butts took, she's holding a red bouquet. You're right! That's impossible! But what does this mean? It means that the defendant really did experience two different wedding receptions. And she did that when she traveled back through time. What? Not figuratively. Somebody held it twice and just paid everybody to keep shut.
Nick, you did it! You proved Ellen's time travel story to be true!
Yeah, I can hardly believe it myself. It's just, as Ellen said, the reception was held twice. This turns every assumption we've based on this trial upside down.
Objection!
I hate that. I still hate that objection. That's not Edgeworth. That's not him. That is not my Edgeworth. I refuse to accept such a ludicrous argument. It's pure fiction under the guise of pseudoscience at best. There's simply no such thing as time travel. I know it's hard, but can't you suspend your disbelief for 1 nanosecond, Edgeworth?
I bet sci-fi movies push all your buttons the wrong way, don't they, Mr. Edgeworth? I can totally picture you yelling, "That'd never happen," every 5 seconds at the screen. Maybe you should stay away from the movie dates altogether.
That's neither here or there. This is real life we're talking about. But the proof is clearly shown in the two puddings. That's right, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how Fine, I'll entertain your absurd delusion. If only to demolish it before your very eyes. What? Let's start with this then, shall we? There's one thing that your time travel theory fails to explain. And that is the memories of the other guests there. The defendant and Larry remember the reception occurring twice, but no member of the Sprocket family has ever mentioned such a thing. It's because the time machine is classified to... I'm not done, you bird brain. Bird brain! As I was saying, the entire family had been sworn to secrecy. Then why hadn't they sworn the woman who was marrying into the family to secrecy as well? That's a good point. Honestly, all it takes is a little common sense, Mr. Wright. Even still, how do we know that the trip through time did not really occur? There is proof in the photos that it did, and besides, if time travel doesn't exist, well, I'd be a little disappointed, frankly. I was hoping to go back to the days of my youth. You mustn't allow yourself to be taken in by Mr. Wright's whimsical tales, Your Honor. I've read about it in various literature, you see. And they all say that time travel is just not logically feasible.
Maybe our argument was just a little too nonsensical, Nick.
Well, in that case, why don't we put some common sense to the test? Excuse me? The wedding reception was held twice. The photos are proof of that. But it wasn't because of time travel. It's simply because the reception had actually been held twice. Isn't that the most reasonable way to interpret the situation? Would you care to elaborate, Mr. Wright? Time travel doesn't exist, and there's only one way to make sense of what happened. Somebody must have orchestrated this strange phenomenon, and that somebody is the gods. Everyone at the reception. What if all the guests at the reception conspired together to hold the reception twice and keep quiet about it? What? And for what purpose would they conspire to do such a thing? Well, Somebody fucking in the audience? Can't do that in here. A brilliant deduction defense. Who's saying this? Ah, of course. I can tell that you are not a renowned lawyer for nothing. I must say, I underestimated you. How so, Mr. Nickety? You have managed to name each event precisely as they happened. You have revealed it all to the light of day. Then that means... It was us. We orchestrated the whole thing. Yes, the reception was held twice. But not because of time travel, no. We simply held it a second time. What? Ugh. Why? Why would you do such a thing? To hide a murder? To make it as though the murder Miss Ellen committed never happened. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, right. You did it. So it all landed on her. Master Soren figured that if Miss Ellen, who'd killed Gloomberry, was the first reception... After the first reception... Master Soren figured that if Miss Ellen, who'd killed Gloomsbury after the first reception, experienced the reception one more time, she would think it was all a dream. It was he who ordered us to make it happen. However, only a few, myself included, knew of Miss Ellen's crime. Are you saying most of the guests attended 2 receptions without knowing why? Indeed. They needed no reason. Master Soren told them to do it, so they did it. That is the Sprocket way. Then who hid the body in the lantern? We did. We did not anticipate the pedals finding their way in, nor the actions of Mr. Butts. And that's how you intended to cover the whole situation up? There's just one thing everyone here has wrong. The real scene of the murder was not the hold. It was the Vista deck. What? Then Miss Wyatt's recollection of the events must be correct. Oh, so when he was manhandling her, whoever came up behind killed him right there and then. I didn't think of that. I don't know why I didn't think of that. It seems pretty obvious now. I admit we tried to cover this incident up, but the fact that Miss Ellen killed Gloomsbury is undeniable.
That is quite the turn of events.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Oh dear me.
And so it appears we have arrived at the truth at last. Now! Please do feel free to travel back in time, Mr. Wright, and attempt to do this trial over again. Go on. Let's not get hasty, Edgeworth. I bet you can't do it. I bet I can't either! Your Honor, we will have to hold a separate trial for the cover-up conspiracy later. But as far as this case goes, I believe we are ready for your ruling.
Objection!
Wait! Just before the defendant lost consciousness during her attack, she said she saw someone strike the victim. It's possible that this third party is the true culprit.
Objection!
You still want us to believe the defendant's words? Perhaps you've lost more than your touch during your time abroad. Oh, yeah, in Kirin? Right. This third person nonsense is nothing but rubbish, and you know it.
Objection!
But by the same token, how can we trust those who conspired and lied to fool this court of law? For all we know, they might still be hiding something. You don't know when to quit, do you? It's true, though. Can't deny that.
Now, calm down, girls. You're both pretty. In any case, there isn't enough trustworthy information yet for me to render a verdict. I suggest we continue the trial after both sides have investigated the matter further.
Very well, Your Honor. Ugh, that was close.
Mr. Nickety, as for you and your cohorts attempt to cover up this crime, your case will be brought to a separate trial following the resolution of this current one.
Understood, Your Honor.
Well then, this concludes today's trial. Court is adjourned.
Sorry if you can hear my water sloshing. I'm kind of just fucking with my bottle while I'm yapping. Do 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 do. September 22nd, 1:48 p.m. Write anything, agency.
What? So the whole time traveling thing was just a ruse put on by the guests at the reception?
Looks like it. I knew there had to be some kind of trick to it.
Wow, 2 wedding receptions. Can you imagine? I wonder how much that would have cost them.
No, I have no idea. But if you have to ask, you're not rich enough to want to know. Still, if you've got the money, it's a pretty good way to cover things up if you ask me.
You got that right. I'm sure I would have been completely fooled. Hi, I'm back.
Hey Maya, are you all set to go?
Yep. Ready when you are. So, what should we start with?
Well, let's start with reviewing what we learned at the trial. What Ellen thought was time travel was really just a performance put on by the Sprockets. But other than that, it seems that what Ellen told us was actually true.
So all that matters right now is the identity of the mystery person Ellen said she saw while she was being attacked. So who is this mystery person?
That's the million-dollar question, I'm afraid. But if we want to clear Ellen of any suspicion, then figuring out who they are is key.
I think I'll take toilets for $200 instead, Mr. Wright.
Well, at least there were only so many people on that airship that night. And we now know who masterminded the whole cover-up plot, so that's good.
You mean the groom, Soren Sprocket, right?
Exactly. He might know something that could help us out. But that also means that, you know, I think that his butler told him that she had done it, and then he tried to cover it up. So really, he was operating under the evil of that guy. So who's this? Oh, Larry. I'm a very busy guy, you know. Well, all the other people involved in are Soren's family members, so I thought I'd better start by interviewing you. Even if I probably shouldn't trust a word out of your mouth. Oh, man. I have a really tight schedule, but hell, what are friends for, right? Okay, pal, go ahead. Ask me anything. You do remember it was you who came to me for help in the first place, right? I want to go over exactly what happened when, what happened when before I step. I'm gonna go over exactly what happened when before I step outside this office again. Oh, I want to go over exactly what happened when before I step outside this office again. You could have used a comma or something. I think I think you could have put a comma there, maybe. Since you were there, Larry, do you think you could help me get it all straight in my head? If I gotta. Okay, so the first reception was held at 7 p.m. on the day of the incident. That's the one you tried to crash, right? Aw, man, I would have loved to see a cutscene for this. Oh, yeah, that's right. And that's when they locked me up in the cabin. Awful, I tell ya. Too bad we're not here to focus on you, Larry. And then the incident occurred after this first reception around 10 p.m. Ellen was attacked in the reception hall by Gloomsbury. That is a crazy frame. Ah, I keep forgetting I can't do that. But I am grabbing that for thumbnail. That is a good thumbnail right there. You fucking bro's about to grip ya. I love this song. It gives penis music energy, but like in a good way. He forced her onto the Vista deck and was just about to kill her. But Ellie fought back and ended up killing old Gloomsbury instead. To cover it up, the family quickly threw together a second reception. That's what Edgy's claiming anyway. But I know why Ellie didn't do it. The key point here is the mystery person Ellen saw just before she passed out. Did you see anybody suspicious skulking around that day? Nope, not a soul. Because I was locked up in the cabin at the time. But you did manage to escape and sneak back into the reception hall. That's when you switched the lantern in the event hall with the lantern in the hold, right? You see anybody then? Nope, the place was completely deserted. I guess because that Pierce Butler guy had everybody gathered together somewhere. Well, that makes sense. He must have been going over the cover-up plan with them. So clearly the murder had already happened by the time Larry got out. He must have gotten everything ready fast and had the second reception soon after that. Then, after that second reception, Ellie went to clean up the reception hall. And as luck would have it, that's when she found the body and the lantern I'd brought up. I tried to do something nice for Ellie out of the goodness of my heart, and this happened! We still don't know exactly what happened during the actual murder itself. We'll just have to look into it, along with the identity of that mystery person. What up, what, what? What, 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 what? What up, what, what? So, while the murder was taking place, you were locked up in the cabin. You see anything unusual while you're in there? In the cabin? Let's see. Well, there was that pterodactyl flying through the sky. That's pretty unusual. Oh, right, the drawing of the pterodactyl you saw. What's with all those air quotes? I really did see it, I swear! But Larry, the time travel thing never actually happened. Which means you couldn't have seen a real pterodactyl flying through the sky. Oh. Are you doubting the I am a super popular picture book author? No, I'm just sure you saw something else and mistook it for a flying reptile. Nick, you're making me doubt my own eyes. Now I'm not even sure what I saw. Either way, you have no idea what actually happened at the real scene of the murder. That's right, and I can say that with every confidence. What? Oh wow, would you look at the time? I'd better go. I have a book signing to get to. A book signing? Whose book? Whose do you think? It's mine, of course. It's a Laurice Donham book signing. Oh, I bet you went around and begged a bunch of bookstores to let you do one. Of course not. They're the ones coming down around to beg me. Yeah, looks like I guessed right. Anyway, I have to go. I'll send you 10 copies of my new book that just got released the other day, all right? 10? That's very generous of you. What are you talking about? I'm gonna send you the bill too, of course. Just put them down as office expenses or something. Well, see ya. Fucker. Wait, Larry, we don't need... he's gone. Maybe we can use it as fire kindling or something. I'll take a copy, boss. Ooh, and I'll make sure it's signed. Oh boy, Trucy's not gonna like this office expense.
Oh, there goes our first lead. What do you want to tackle next, Nick?
Right, we should really hit the streets now, huh? How about we go see Ellen?
Sounds good, boss. I bet I can cheer her up.
Oh, I thought you were gonna help Trucy with her magic show again today, Athena. Weren't you supposed to go meet her right about now? Trucy said she was gonna practice her new trick on you, if I recall.
On me? Really?
Well, Trucy's show is an important source of income for our agency, you know. You can leave the case to us, so you can go ahead and run along now.
But boss.
Off you go, Athena! You're needed elsewhere.
No, I don't want to die.
We'd better get going too, Maya.
Okay.
I think Maya would be down to do it. Get her to do it. Some mother-daughter time, you know what I'm saying? Anyway. Oh, hi, Ellen. Doing all right? Does she have teardrop earrings because she's always crying? Is that supposed to be thematic?
Oh, my poor sweet Soren. I wonder how he's getting along without me.
Hey, Ellen.
Oh, Mr. Wright, what's gonna happen with the trial, do you think?
Well, first and foremost, we have to hurry up and find this mystery person you saw before you passed out.
You think that person could be the real killer?
It's quite possible, and if we can prove that, then we can clear you of all charges. Actually, would you happen to know where Soren is right now?
He's usually busy with meetings all afternoon, but he should be home by evening.
Look at those fresh underpants. I think I'd better go have a chat with him later, then. Why am I being treated to a view of someone's underwear?
Mr. Wright, don't tell me. You suspect my sweet Soren.
Well, he is the one who masterminded the second reception after the time skip. So I thought he might be able to tell us something.
How could you, Mr. Wright? You couldn't possibly think my Soren would never kill anyone.
All right, just calm down.
No, not if you're accusing my Soren.
Please, I'm not accusing anybody. Please put the pan and ladle down, all right?
Really?
Cross my heart. So for now, would you mind if I asked you a few more things about the case? Better be careful not to provoke her. God. Could you tell me about Soren?
There's nothing to tell. He's squeaky clean.
All right, okay. Maybe I should avoid the topic of Soren for right now. Let's talk about something else then.
Fine, but you won't hear a peep out of me about Soren.
How about pulling teeth? Could you tell me about Pierce Nickety then?
Pierce, he came to Sprocket Manor about a year ago. As the family butler, he's now in charge of everything in the household.
Only a year ago. Did he have some kind of special connection with the family?
I'm just a maid, so I'm not privy to such things, I'm afraid.
Might have been Soren's order, but Pierce is the one who coordinated the whole thing. He's the one who really orchestrated the grand time travel farce. Must have quite a bit of authority in that family. But no matter how good he is at his job, how could anybody gain that much influence in a single year?
I really don't know. I mean, he is an excellent butler. Wouldn't that explain it?
Is it really as simple as that? What you thought was time travel was really just a cover-up carried out by your in-laws. Pierce said Soren was the one who ordered the whole thing.
I still can't believe it, even if the second reception was fake. Soren would never use time travel for something like that. He's very serious about his time machine research, you know.
I heard there's a reason he's researching time machines, actually. Something about something he wishes he could change. But isn't the whole idea of traveling back in time a little fantastic?
I don't think so. After all, Soren said real time travelers do exist.
Really now? You think he knows someone who actually traveled through time?
That's right. I haven't seen it personally, but Soren said as much. So I believe it.
Somebody who actually traveled through time, huh? It's pretty hard to believe. Thank you, Ellen.
You're going out to do your investigation now, aren't you?
Yes, that's right.
Please make sure you don't cause Soren any trouble, okay?
I'm afraid I can't promise you that.
What? Please, whatever you do, please don't upset my poor Soren any further. I'm begging you.
I'll do my best not to cause him any unnecessary trouble.
No, I couldn't bear it if Soren came under suspicion. I'd rather be found guilty myself.
Yikes! Ellen, please, don't work yourself up like this. You don't want Soren to worry, do you? Oh, that got her to fucking chill out.
No, you're right.
And the floodwaters recede once more.
So, what do we know now, Nick?
Well, Ellen said Soren is usually in meetings until the evening, so let's save our house call until then. Why don't we go to the mooring dock and figure out our next move from there?
Roger, Nick! Who's Roger? No, like, you know, it's like a saying, you know, Roger! Like a, I don't know, like pirates. Alright.
So, where should we start?
Let's see, are there any places we haven't examined yet? We already investigated the reception hall and Sprocket Manor.
No, I know, we haven't looked at the Vista deck. Or the hold.
Hey, you're right. We still got plenty of important places left to examine, don't we? The Vista deck is the actual scene of the murder, right?
And the lantern with the body in it was stored in the hold. I think there's a good chance we'll find some important clues in those locations. Whoops.
Do we know how to get to the hold?
Good question. I think it was labeled in the diagram of the airship in this pamphlet.
There it is!
From the lift on the Vista deck. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go. What are we waiting for? Start with the hold. Oh, look at this. Look, it's 2 Pegamoos. There was enough to put one out there, but they didn't do it. So, this is the hold. This is where Pierce orchestrated the whole cover-up situation. We'd better go over this place with a fine-tooth comb. Hold on. I gotta blow my nose.
Hey, Nick. Weren't we supposed to need a keycard to get in here?
Oh, you're right. I wonder why it was unlocked.
How's it going, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, of course. Of course Emma's here. Well, Emma, what are you doing here?
Just a little independent investigating. For my own sake. Gotta keep my mind sharp.
No. So the door security system was turned off for the police investigation. We'd like to investigate the hold ourselves. Would that be all right?
Yeah, sure. The police just finished their examination anyway.
How convenient. Always just finishing when we show up. Perfect timing. Thanks. We'll just take a quick look around then.
Oh, right! You should know the floor doubles as a huge lift. You can use that lever way back there to raise it up to the Vista deck. The police inspected it already, but didn't find anything of particular interest. If you do go up to the Vista deck with the lift, be sure not to fall off.
Yeah, got it. Thanks.
That goes double for you, Maya. Yes, ma'am. I definitely won't fall off. I mean, look, I'm Maya Fey, new and improved, 28 years old. I am practically a full-blown adult, okay? My brain is fully developed. Uh-huh.
Now let's get the show on the road. Bow, 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 bow.
These are the flowers we saw in Larry's photo.
The petals do make them look like little gears. The perfect flower for the Sprocket family, huh? Maybe they're going to shower the couple with the petals.
You mean kind of like how people throw rice or confetti?
Yeah, like that. It throws rice. Only these were found at the scene of the murder instead. The investigation be going. We only really just started the investigation. We finished the court room. Like, basically just finished the courtroom. These must be the dishes and glasses they use for receptions. Very fancy. I bet we'd run into trouble if we broke any of them.
Ooh, I want to see Nick.
You, young lady, need to stay far, far away from them.
Young lady, Nick, I'm 28 years old.
Well, you're acting like a 16-year-old.
Nick, you think I'm gonna break them, don't you?
Let's just say your rap sheet for breaking things doesn't help your case. So, this is the airship's engine. It's pretty impressive.
And it's all arithmetic. It's all rhythmic like a heartbeat. It's a literal heart of the flying chapel. Look at all those huge gears spinning around and around and around and around and around and around and around. Ooh. I think I'm starting to get dizzy.
Yeah, me too. Oh look, there's the lever to the lift Emma told us about.
Let's try going up on it. I'll go flip the switch. Here goes nothing.
Wait, I'm not even on yet. Oh, blood, blood. But hey, Maya, stop the lift.
Whoops, sorry, I got a little carried away.
Never mind that. Move over a little.
Okay.
Is that blood?
But blood? Let me see.
You know, Emma, I'd expect this from Gumshoe and his investigation, but is it just the police? Is it just like the police? In general? Like, are you all incompetent? Like, how'd you miss this big blood stain? Could be Mr. Gloomspreep's blood?
Well, this lift does go up to the Vista deck where the murder took place, so I think that's the most logical conclusion.
I thought the victim was clubbed to death. Something tells me I better take a picture of this. I should ask Emma about it sometime later. Maya, could you bring the lift back down now?
You got it. I'll go flip the switch again. There.
Very good, very good. Bloodstain located.
Done.
Want to find out more about that bloodstain. But for now, I guess we should go up to the Vista deck. Take a look around the actual crime scene for ourselves.
The view must be great from up there. It'll be awesome.
You mean, it would be if it wasn't the scene of a murder.
Okay, to the Vista deck we go. Make sure you actually get on the lift this time, Nick.
I know.
Okay, I'll just flip the switch again, and away we go.
You know, I was thinking, for the next Ace Attorney game as well, it'd be cool if they added Edgeworth's logic system to the investigation portion. Because we do the investigation part in regular Ace Attorney, so I don't get why we can't have the logic system also. It would add more depth to the puzzle solving. And if they do go with my idea for, like, you know, actually exploring in an open area and more, like, in-level puzzle solving, I mean, it would be pretty fucking sweet.
Wow, look at the gorgeous view.
So this is where Ellen was attacked and Mr. Gloomsbury was killed. Yeesh, one wrong step and it's kersplat on the ground below.
Should we go investigate the stuff that's a little closer to the edge?
Well, I don't see much of anything over there. The police investigation didn't turn up any clues, so maybe we don't need to.
No, I get it. You're scared, aren't you, Nick?
Of course not! Come on, it's Apollo who's got that, not me. I'm a big, manly, burly man. I'm a man's man. I'm literally a man's man. I mean, you know, me and Edgeworth, you know? We're bros. Come on, let's go back down and finish checking out the hold. Guys, that was pointless. Ba-da-ba-da-boo. Pegamoo. So there are 2 male Pegable lanterns in the reception hall. That must mean that these 2 are the female Pegacow lanterns.
Larry got their sexes mixed up when he replaced the one in the reception hall, huh? Didn't you see the horns? The difference is pretty glaring, if you ask me.
And yet he managed to not notice. That's what makes Larry Larry. And Larry being Larry is why I've seen more than my fair share of trouble for a lifetime.
Oh, Mr. Wright? You know that lantern the victim was found inside in the reception hall? I'm just about to go piece it back together so the police can examine it.
Oh, okay. We'll stop by for a look too once you're done. Bum, bum, ba-da-dum. What's that? A wedding bell?
According to the pamphlet, it's used on the Vista deck during wedding ceremonies to bless the newlyweds.
I guess they disassemble and store it away here in the hold when it's not being used.
Oh, it's a cake, Nick, a cake! Oh, it's so big! Oh, they wouldn't miss one little piece, would they?
If you're that in the mood for a mouthful of styrofoam, sure, knock yourself out.
Oh, you mean it's not real? It sure fooled me. I was so ready to have some that I was... Oh, I'm really craving cake. Come on, Nick, let's go get some.
Maybe after the trial's over. At our little welcome back Maya celebration.
Oh, look, Nick, it's an airplane.
I wonder if Soren built that one too.
Hey, why don't we take it for a spin? Just a quick tour around the neighborhood.
And who do you propose is gonna pilot that wooden death trap?
Me, of course. Who else? Don't worry, I've seen people fly airplanes on TV plenty of times. I know exactly how to do it.
Right, so you know that the controls are reversed and backwards and also the camera's backwards. I think I'll pass. I still got my whole life ahead of me. Well, half of it at least. Got him. Can we go back up? It seems like we're done here. Oh, wait, no we're not. Hold on. Well, looks like there were some fingerprints on this candelabra.
Yeah, I just got done dusting that.
I thought you were gone.
I was able to pull a set of left-hand prints.
Do you know whose prints they were?
Yeah. The prints belong to the victim, Miss Gloomsbury.
Doom and gloom.
Nick! I just figured something out amazing! Something awesome!
You did?
Get this! If the fingerprints on the candelabra were from his left hand, then Mr. Doom and Gloom must have been left-handed. What do you think of that? Do I have the makings of the great detective, or what?
You're a real silly Sally if you thought that deduction was in any way encyclopedic.
Hey, you're pretty good, Maya. I looked into it myself, and sure enough, the victim was really left-handed. Really? I got it right? Awesome.
Good for you, Maya.
Good for you? That's all you have to say? No kiss, good job, or no nothing, no hug or high five or anything? No clicking for a good job?
I think you did a real great job, Maya. Way to go. This one can never have too much info.
Now you're talking.
Come to think of it, this candelabra isn't in the photo Larry took of the hold, is it?
The picture was taken when they were getting ready for the first reception, right? The candelabra must have been brought there sometime after that, then.
Still possible it has something to do with that incident, though. I'd better add it to the evidence file just in case.
Wow, 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 wow. Oh, by the way, Mr. Wright, you can have this fingerprint powder if you'd like.
You giving this to us?
Oh, sure. I've got 4 other sets.
Ooh, thanks. I feel like there's something more to that candelabra, but I can't put my finger on it.
Alright, genius, we'll fucking examine it then, if you really are, you know. Oh, never mind, I can't examine it, cool.
Well, if you're still here, then...
What's the detail of the blood?
Emma, about this bloodstain, doesn't something about it strike you as odd?
What's so odd about the victim's blood?
No, that's not exactly... There's something about it that still bothers me.
Well, now that you mention it, I can't say I necessarily disagree with you.
Any progress with your investigation?
Nothing conclusive yet, I'm afraid. Almost everybody was involved with the cover-up, so it's hard to know who or what to believe.
I know what you mean.
Unless you have some compelling evidence, I'm afraid it's gonna be a tough trial.
You're telling me. There isn't much time left, so I've just got to make do and see what else I can turn up. Turn up! Emma, can we check out this candelabra a little more?
A little more? What do you...
Oops! What happened?
Oh, I almost dropped the candelabra and the candles fell off.
Oh,
Well, that revealed a little tricksy trick.
well, let's be careful with that. It might be important evidence.
Wait a minute.
Now what?
One of the prints at the candle, that hold the candles is broken.
Oh, one of the pins. What?
There's definitely something fishy about this candelabra.
There is? Well, what makes you say that?
Call it forensic investigator's intuition. We already tested for the prints on this earlier. So, let's test it with luminol this time.
Knowing Emma, she'd use every test she has at the same time if she could.
Just hang on, this will only take a sec.
Boom, 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 boom. I hope this turns up a new lead somehow. Well, Emma, did you find anything?
Take a look at this, Mr. Wright.
What's all that blood doing on there? This is a fucking jam to be finding blood with.
Ba-da-da-da, we just found the blood on the candelabra that
is important evidence for the case where someone literally died. That's pretty fucking sweet. Maybe somebody got hurt while they were setting up for the reception? These pins are pretty sharp. But if one of the pins is broken, that means there was some force involved. You think maybe somebody got stabbed? Nobody reported anything like that. Quite a bit of blood. I wonder whose it is. If I have anything that might shed some light on that, I should probably show it to Emma. About this blood stain. What about it? There's something about it that's been bothering me. Oh yeah, what's that? Well, there's a huge bloodstain on the crime scene lift, in a bloodstained candelabra. Now, this is only a guess, but I'm thinking these two bloodstains are from the same source. I'm thinking maybe these two bloodstains are from the same source. I guess that is a possibility. Got a very satisfying 4-kill as Wesker in DBD. Let's go. Ah, yes. Complete global lactation. Oh yeah, wait. There was actually some news for Dead by Daylight today. About the FNAF crossover. It's gonna get revealed at PAX, I think? I don't know when that is, but it was pretty exciting. I didn't look too far into it. Probably should have. I'm trying to find it. Analysts talk Switch 2 price. Expect launch to be gaming's biggest ever. That'd be crazy if it was the biggest of all time. I can't find it. I can't find it, you guys. Might have to look it up. FNAF X DVD. I'm pretty sure. I can't find it. I definitely saw that, though. Sorry for the little break. Where did I see that? Oh, yeah. Here it is. Information on the crossover is planned to be revealed this year. An early look at the crossover is set to be shown at PAX East 2025. When's PAX East? PAX East 2020. Oh, not tickets. I'm not going. Unless. May 8th to 11th? Oh, okay. So, you know, like a month and a bit. Like a month and a half until... Okay. I guess it is getting released in the summer. This will be like June or something. I do love when survivors get cocky and start teabagging, but they still lose. Like, thank you for being an annoying asshat. I take great pride in you on the hook. It's sort of like when you play a match in Marvel Rivals and they start doing the slow walk to the battlefield and then they lose. That always feels good. Less good when you're on that team with people like that. Can we compare the two bloodstains? Would that take a lot of time?
Are you kidding? Don't underestimate the power of science. It'll be done in a jiffy.
I love that phrase. Get it done in a jiffy. It's genius. Whoever came up with that, I mean, props. I'm going to use that for the rest of my life. Jiffy? There's something so nice about that word. That would be the saddest loss of a word, to be like, in like 10 years, it's not okay to say jiffy. That would be so sad. Yeah, what up, my jiffies? What up, jiffies? Jiff boys? I'll get it done in a GIF.
And the results are in. That didn't take so long now, did it? It seems that the blood from the lift and candelabra are the same person.
And who is that? Are you gonna give us that? Well, the victim was clubbed to death, and there wasn't all that much blood. But
But if this isn't Mr. Gloomsbury's blood...
well, this is just a guess, but what if Mr. Gloomsbury stabbed somebody with a candelabra pin? That would explain both the huge bloodstain and the lift on the lift and the blood on the candelabra.
Oh my god, if that's true, then that means there's somebody else present at the crime scene.
It does, doesn't it? This might just substantiate Ellen's statement about a third person. Emma, could you have this blood analyzed?
Sure thing.
Mysterious bloodstain on a candelabra with the victim's prints on it. This might just be the thing to back up Ellen's memory of seeing a third person. Have we ever heard this track before? Like, holy... Honestly, this kind of reminds me of a Ratchet & Clank track a little bit. I don't know why. I feel like I would be blasting aliens at the moment, collecting bolts. Oh, 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 oh. Hold on. Wait a minute. Bro, that goes so hard. Did you get David Bergeau on this?
The reception hall. The forensics team is in there investigating right now.
Oh, they are?
Well, we don't have time to just sit around. Let's go check something else out.
Right, we could go question some people. Especially Soren. We got quite a few questions for that guy.
Sounds good, Nick. Off to do some legwork then?
Yep, I thought we'd head to Soren's house for starters.
He was accompanying the police in their investigation there here earlier, but he's probably home by now.
Great, thanks. Later, Emma. When Springtrap is added to DVD, you can't stop playing until you get the Adept on him. 4K with only 3 of his unique perks. I don't know what that even means. So 4 kills with 3 unique perks? Okay. Are we sure it's going to be Springtrap? I hope it's Springtrap. Springtrap would be the perfect person to add, because he is, like, the big bad. But, like, there's all the chances they just go, like, Classic Freddy. They could just do Classic Freddy, and that would be fine. But it should be Springtrap. Everybody wants Springtrap. Each killer comes with 3 perks. Use only those to kill all those survivors in one match. Okay. Actually, do you think they might do multiple FNAF killers? They've done multiple for Resident Evil. I think maybe we could get, like, 2 killers in a map. And obviously survivors, I think you get as well as unique characters. Wait, who are gonna be the FNAF survivors? Fucking Michael Afton? What? Purple guy? Alright. They probably don't want 2 Freddys. Well, you know, they could do Freddy. They could have it be Freddy Fazbear, but yeah, I guess 2 Freddys is too much. They could do Vanny if they wanted. Vanny would fit. Ennard. Ooh, Ennard would be good. Ennard would be really good. Oh, Ennard. I didn't think about that. I really like Ennard. I think Ennard is underutilized. Ennard's really creepy. And seeing him, like, fully animated with his, like, slippery wires, I don't know. That might be fun. Baby could be a good killer. Baby would be a great killer, actually. You know, she's big. Oh, yeah, no. I mean, they'd be stupid not to do Springtrap, obviously. It should be Springtrap. He should be at least the main one. But if they do multiple, you know. I mean, we do have, you know, FNAF fucking phone app with 7 different Springtraps. You know, we'll probably get, like, Clown Springtrap, Toxic Springtrap, Chocolate Springtrap, Easter Springtrap. World War II Springtrap. I hope we don't get Scrap Trap. I'm not even a DVD fan, but, you know, with my FNAF knowledge, I just hope, you know, Scrap Trap could leave that alone. I'd rather Burn Trap over Scrap Trap, like, any day of the week. Unless Scrap Trap gets, like, a redesign. Glitch Trap, though. But Glitch Trap, I don't know, as a skin? I feel like Glitch Trap would have to be his own character. I feel like he's got moveset potential. Thinking about, like, fucking Smash Bros. Now. Yeah, like, moveset potential, you know. Side B. Dark Springtrap over Scrap Trap. Honestly, any version. Any version of Springtrap over Scrap Trap. We're all, like, talking this shit, and then it's gonna come out, and it's gonna be, like, the Blob. It's gonna be, like, the fucking, the Blob's the killer. It's like, oh. Okay, that's... Alright. Let's give you some fucking fucko random-ass animatronic. But, like, Springtrap's perfect, because it's purple guy, you know, and it's not just, like, a guy in purple, you know, he's in his thing. It's perfect. It's 2 in 1, basically. Wait, Dark Springtrap is real? I thought you were just like, it was like a throwaway, like, haha. Haha. Dark Springtrap. Dork Spring... Wait a minute. Let me see this. Dark Springtrap. It's just like the easiest, like, additive you can add to anything. Like, dark. Dark character. Is this a Funko Pop exclusive character? I think it might be. That looks like a Funko exclusive character. I've never seen that before. Dark Springtrap is the Springtrap you see for all of 3 seconds when you beat Sister Location on max mode. Oh, you mean his shadow? That's not a unique character. That's his shadow cast by light. That's not a character. Ted's his shadow. Bro, put Shadow Bonnie in instead. That's a shadow. He's being illuminated by light. That's not a character. What the fuck? That's real? Funko did that? They're like, yeah, that's a character. Bro, you've got like 7 million animatronics. Why are you making fucking the shadow of Springtrap from one ending real? Shadow Bonnie would be hard as a skin. I know. That's a good character. He's creepy, and he has President outside his one frame in FNAF 2. He's also got the minigames where he's in fucking Pixel. That'd be a good DVD killer. I'd love to see more Shadow Bonnie, honestly. I don't think it would make sense for him to appear in more games, but if he did, I'd be very happy. He's also got a lot of potential. He's just dark entity that can be anywhere. It's cool. Anyway, enough FNAF.
I still can't get over how gorgeous Sprocket Manor is.
Just don't touch anything.
But I wasn't going to.
She was definitely going to. I would still love a FNAF X Phoenix Wright game. Like, that is such a far off thing that would never ever happen. But like that, I would love that. Like, I would give anything to have a cross-examination of one of the robots. Like, that is so up Phoenix's alley. He would be like, let's cross-examine Freddy Fazbear himself. It's like, what the fuck? He's a robot. Oh, yeah, but there's a spirit inside him. And did we get the spirit tuner? And we're like, who killed you? And he says, the rabbit. And they say, oh! I told you, Edgeworth, you bitch! Preposterous. Preposterous. This can't be. No, I don't want to believe it. I was told I had guests. Oh, and you could defend Henry? Henry would be the defendant. 100%. Alright, of course it was Soren. Thanks for seeing us, Soren. We know you're busy. We'd like to ask you a few questions about the case, if you wouldn't mind. Soren? They should do a Phoenix Wright game where it's just a bunch of crossover cases. Yeah, they should. And it should just be it's just not canon. It's just a fun... You can maybe have an overarching story, maybe. But, like, just have it be a non-canon, fun time. You know? And then it's revealed at the end of the game it was just a hallucinogenic dream brought on by Maya eating a bunch of candy before bed or some stupid shit. Mario 2, that son of a bitch. Soren? You're Ellen's lawyer, right? Yeah, that's right. Don't tell me he doesn't remember me. Will Ellen be found guilty? We're doing everything we can to prevent that, so we're here investigating. Will you please tell us what you know? Soren? Alright, fine. What's that pause all about? Do. I'm surprised her card's still on the floor. Didn't we give that to somebody? It was you who gave the order for that large-scale cover-up plan, isn't that right? What large-scale cover-up?
Don't play dumb with us. You held 2 wedding receptions in order to try cover up Mr. Gloomsbury's murder.
Ellen thought that through the power of the timekeeper you built. She traveled back in time. Ah, so that's why there were 2 receptions. Wait, does he seriously not know the reason why the reception was held twice? Looks like I'll have to delve deeper here. Yeah, he had no hand in it. I knew it. It's the butler. The butler did it. It's the age-old thing. The butler always did it. You know? It's more of a taboo to make it not the butler at this point. So, the cover-up scheme, that fake trip through time? You're not the one who was behind it all? Pierce Nickety stated in court that you were the one who ordered it to be carried out. Pierce said that? I see. I leave him in charge of everything around me. So whatever he decides is, in essence, my decision too. So I take it you didn't know anything about the cover-up? That's none of your business. But you were in 2 wedding receptions in a row. And still, you claim to know nothing? I have nothing more to say to you. Please leave. But Soren! You're being really obnoxious. We're trying to save your wife here, dude. Ow!
Oh, there's something written on that paper airplane. Let's see. Go away?
It doesn't get any clearer than that, huh? Looking especially uncooperative, but maybe I can grab his attention somehow. Still that one piece of evidence I don't know much about. It's worth a try. Soren, please have shorter animations. True. I thought that might be it. Does this bring anything to mind? Even some small, vague detail will do. God, stop with all the bangers. boo. Boo ba ba boo ba boo ba boo. Boo boo ba boo. Oh, unrelated. I don't know why, but just thinking about bangers, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Undertale is on sale right now. And if for some reason anybody hasn't played it, I recommend wholeheartedly. But as of right now, when the stream is being streamed live, Undertale is $1 on Steam. So, if you ever wanted to give it a go, it's $1. I was thinking of just getting it, just to have it in my Steam library. Like, there's no reason to. I've got it on PlayStation, I've got it on Switch. I don't need it, but, like, it's $1. And I could just get the soundtrack and then just have the soundtrack. But to be fair, I can just listen to that anywhere. But still, pretty crazy. Toby's crazy with deals. Like, a lot of indie games stay at, like, $40 and more. And it's like, fair enough, make your bag king. But Toby be like, nah, $1. You pay $1 for this masterpiece. That's all you need. $1. That's it. $1. Oh, you want the soundtrack? $5. It's like, oh. Thank you, Toby. It's kind of weird, because my brother's name's Toby as well. That wasn't it. How about this? Independent? What are you showing me that for? Mr. Sprocket! I can't read him at all. Not even with an item as loaded with sentiments as this. Okay. Maybe the timekeeper? Nope. What piece of evidence was Wright talking about? The blood? The candelabra, maybe? Oh, Soren, have you ever seen this before? That's... Oh, yep, I think he's seen it before. Look at his fucking mechanical pencil. I remember having one of those. They kind of fucking suck, from what I remember. Soren, what is it? Nothing. Why does his whole demeanor change all of a sudden? He's gone pale as a ghost, too. Soren!
Nick, look at his stomach, he's bleeding!
Somebody help! Soren's collapsed! He was stabbed.
Master Soren!
Get him to the hospital quickly now!
So just showing him, oh yeah, I have an injury. I forgot. Oh! Like, he seemed fine. And then we reminded him he was injured. He's like, oh yeah, oops. Ah! My pain! Oh! Ow, it hurts! Ah! Fuck! No!
Poor Soren, that was one serious wound. What is it, Nick?
Well, it can't have been that serious since he played it off for 3 days straight. Well, when I showed him the candelabra, his whole demeanor changed. So I was just thinking that maybe his injury is...
What's this?
Soren's notebook. Must have dropped it in a rush to get him to the hospital.
Oh, his notebook, huh? I wonder what's written in it, don't you? Come on, you want to take a peek?
Don't look. I really don't think we should.
But it might have some really, really important information in it.
It's quite possible, but still. I guess it is for Ellen's sake at the end of the day. I feel guilty snooping around in other people's personal notebooks, but maybe we should take a little look-see. Ah, come on. Whoa, it's filled with big words written in tiny letters. I guess he uses this notebook to write down his invention ideas.
What is it? Did you find something?
After March 8th of last year, the content of this notebook changes dramatically.
How so?
Well, ever since that date, Soren's been writing down every detail of his life. As in, every.
Maybe you decided to start keeping a diary?
But this is way too detailed to be an ordinary diary.
Either he's really compulsive, or maybe he's just plain forgetful.
Yeah, this seems very autistic, so... Should give us a nice detailed plan of what happened on the day of his wedding. I feel like something happened on March 8th to make Soren change.
Well, why'd you let me take a look at that and I'll tell you.
Hey, Maya, let go or we'll rip it.
Now look what you did, you dropped it. Should've let me take a look.
How's this my fault?
Oh no, Nick.
It fell into a pool of Soren's blood. I can't read a thing on these 2 pages now. Oh, good going, you two. You just covered up the most important piece of evidence we have, you geniuses. Ah, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I was so happy when you two got reunited. We should have stuck with fucking Trucy.
Uh-oh, you're gonna get it now.
Ugh. I guess it really is my fault after all. Let's just put it away carefully for now. Can't let anything else happen to it, you hear?
Hey, look, there's something sticking out of the notebook. It's like a newspaper article.
Let's see. Oh. It's about the car accident Soren's sister died in. It happened on, well, March 8th. It's the day Soren's notebook completely changed. Oh, wow.
What else does it say?
Says the driver at the time of the incident was Dumas Gloomsbury. Says Soren was in the car too, and that he had sustained severe injuries. It's just like Pierce said. Soren completely changed after that incident. Fortunate that only his sister died. So Gloomsbury was driving the car when they got into that accident. That opens up the distinct possibility of Soren holding a grudge against Gloomsbury.
You think Soren could have...
I don't know. It's not like I have any proof. But we should talk to Pierce about this when we return Soren's notebook to him. Though he doesn't seem to be here right now. He's at the Flying Chapel.
Bop,
Bop, boo, boo, boo. I sure hope Pierce is around here somewhere. Ah, Mr. Wright, Miss Fay. Hey, Pierce. We were just looking for you. Oh, I'm sorry for Master Soren's sudden departure earlier. You have my sincerest apologies. It was totally understandable, really, but shouldn't you be at his side right now? It's fine. The other servants are with him, and I am in constant contact with them. Do not forget to give him his pain medication, and be sure to keep him hydrated. Also, see to it that he is not up and about. He needs complete bed rest. Is this what happens when you're too rich for normal peasant phones? I'm to return to Master Soren now, but... Did you want something of me? Actually, here's Soren's notebook. He dropped it when he collapsed. Hope Pierce didn't notice the bloodstain. Oh, thank you very much for this. I'll see to it personally that Master Soren gets it back. Thank you. I trust you did not look inside. Oh, of course not. Because it's filled with numerous patent-worthy ideas, you see. Sure, buddy, not evidence that you killed somebody. Look, I know you're busy, but would you mind if I ask you a few questions about the case? Well, as I said, I must be getting back to Master Soren. So if you would make it quick, I would greatly appreciate it. Alright, I'll make this as quick as I can. I'd like to ask you about the cover-up you tried to pull off, if you don't mind. I told everything there is to tell in court already. Disposing of anything that may harm the Sprocket family's reputation. Simply a part of my job. Sounds like a lovely job description. I've nothing to say on the matter. I will say, I do not think it's wise to spend time on topics we've already discussed. Right. Pierce, could you tell us more about this accident? Where did you find that? And did I not already tell you about that accident? You did, but you conveniently left out one crucial detail. The fact that Dumas Gloomsbury was driving the car at the time. Oh, did I not mention that? I suppose it simply did not come up then. Mr. Gloomsbury caused the accident. Why didn't the Sprocket family fire him? Wouldn't that usually be the natural consequence of such a huge mistake? Oh, please do not misunderstand. Gloomsbury stayed on with the family. On Master Soren's request. What? Well, that's the type of person Master Soren is. Perhaps the influence of Miss Selina's kind nature. She was such a sweet person that even in her last moments, she thought of Master Soren. Not only did Soren not hold a grudge against Gloomsbury, he insisted on keeping him on. Now I really don't understand how that guy's mind works. Well, you know, if it's really not his fault and they were all close, then it'd be better to get through it together than apart. So you were present for Selina Sprocket's last moments? Yes, in my professional capacity. The accident happened on the way to a certain party. What kind of party was it? It was Miss Selina's engagement party. Oh, it was her engagement party. Sprocket seemed to have ruined 2 engagements now. That's a weird coincidence. Bloomsbury's injuries were minor, but Miss Selina and Master Soren's were critical. They were brought to the Sprocket family's regular hospital. Such a terrible thing happened on what was supposed to be a day of celebration. Thanks to the surgeon in charge, Master Soren pulled through. Miss Selina, she... Bro, imagine you arrive to your engagement party and then your wife dies on the way. Like, dude, that poor person. Fuck, man. That sucks. That sucks. The last words Miss Selina said to me were, "Please help Soren." Ever since then, I've attended Master Soren and tried to help him in any way I can. I see. Selina's fiancé must have been devastated. Oh, indeed. The shock of losing Miss Selina was so great, he quit being a surgeon. He was a surgeon? Wait, so the surgeon who tried to save them both, was he... Yes, he was Miss Selina's fiancé.
What a terrible tragedy.
Awful. So, where's her fiancé now? Good question. I wonder that sometimes myself. So, Selina had a fiancé. I'd like to find out more about him, but I doubt I'll find him anytime soon. So are we done here? I must be going, I'm afraid. Could you please just tell me a little more about Soren? There's nothing more to tell. I can't seem to get any real answers out of him by just asking questions. There is a piece of evidence I still don't know much about. Maybe he'll be able to tell me something about it. Are we really gonna present him this? Pierce, have you ever seen this candelabra before? No, I don't know anything about it. Oh, yeah, sure, bucko. Sure you don't know anything about it. My Magatama reacted. Pierce must be trying to hide something from me. I have to break those Cyclocks and find out what. Pierce's secret. Pierce, you're hiding something from me, aren't you?
It's one of the candelabras from the Flying Chapel, is it not? Is there something special about it?
Actually, yes, there's some blood on it, you see. I think the blood might belong to this person.
Take that!
Soren has a rather nasty wound on his body, doesn't he?
Yes, Master Soren is indeed injured.
So, are we gonna... Okay, so... If he is the murderer, then Soren must have got mad at Gloomsbury. And then Gloomsbury stabbed him. But because of his kind nature, he kept quiet about it and covered it up. And then, Gloomsbury on top of that tried to kill Ellen out of jealousy or anger or spite or some emotional mess. And then Pierce, seeing that and kind of wanting a little bit of revenge for what happened to Soren. You know, he didn't want the same thing to happen to the new couple, so he dealt with them, and then he's just been doing his job, quote unquote.
Not as far as I know.
I see. Then let me ask you this, Pierce. Do you suppose Soren could have been more directly involved than you're letting on?
What in the world would make you think that?
Oh, I've got my reasons. Mr. Gloomsbury's fingerprints were found on this candelabra's stem, which leads me to believe that Mr. Gloomsbury stabbed Soren with it.
You cannot possibly think Master Soren's the one responsible for the murder.
I don't have any conclusive evidence of that at the moment. But I do think he had a motive. This proves that Soren had a motive to kill Mr. Gloomsbury.
Take that!
Even though it was an accident, Mr. Gloomsbury was the man responsible for taking Soren's sister away.
Let us suppose that Gloomsbury did stab Master Soren with the candelabra. Can you prove that it had anything to do with the case? He might have been stabbed at some other location for some other reason.
Sorry, but I can prove it was related to the case.
Oh, really?
Soren's stabbing and Mr. Gloomsbury's death are definitely connected.
Are they now?
Ooga booga booga ooh. A bloodstain was found on the side of the lift that goes between the hold and the Vista deck. Its blood matches the blood that's found on the candelabra. I obtained the results straight from the police, so I can assure you that this information is correct. This bloodstain on the lift indicates an important fact. It shows us that
Soren was there during the crime. So there's blood on the lift, which can only mean one thing. He was here, was he?
Soren was there at the scene of the crime. You are very astute, Mr. Wright. Fears I cannot hide this from you any longer. Very well, I will tell you everything.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Don't leave out the part where you're the one who killed him. Right? Right? Could you tell me about Soren's injury?
Very well. This is what I heard directly from Master Soren himself. As you surmised, Master Soren was stabbed by Gloomsbury on the day of the murder. It happened after the first wedding reception. The happy couple were in the reception hall when suddenly Gloomsbury appeared. He attacked Miss Ellen and tried to take her away. Master Soren went to stop him and found himself in a struggle with Gloomsbury. That is when Master Soren was stabbed with the candelabra, he said. Even though Master Soren was badly injured, he went after Gloomsbury.
So Soren really was at the scene of the crime, wasn't he?
Yes, that's correct. However, by the time Master Soren arrived at the scene, Gloomsbury had already been murdered.
So Pierce is saying Soren was at the scene. That he didn't have anything to do with the murder itself. Even still, why'd you keep such an important piece of information from me? I'm very sorry. It was for his sake, of course. Master Soren's injury and Gloomsbury's murder were not directly related, so I decided not to mention it, so as to not unnecessarily complicate the investigation. Now then. I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid I must go now. Please excuse me. I mean, it's 100% him. He told Larry to keep quiet about the pterodactyl. That's gotta have something to do with what happened. 100%. That broken map is gonna be the key. That broken little pterodactyl right there is the key. Thank you for your time.
You should have just told us everything in the first place and saved us a lot of time.
Yeah, but I guess it isn't that simple for him. He is the family butler, after all. Sure didn't make our job any easier, though, did he? But at least we learned something new. Soren was at the scene of the crime.
That's true. One step forward is better than none. So what next, Nick?
Let's see. The forensics team might be done with investigating the reception hall by now. Let's go check it out.
Sounds like a plan.
Reception. Oops, that's the hole. Oopsie daisy.
Oh, look, there's somebody cleaning in the background. Looks like the police are done with their investigation in here. What if it's okay for us to take a look around now? Oh, hi, Mr. Wright. Oh, hello, Emma. Hey, Emma. Would it be alright if we investigate in this room now?
Sure, police are all done. Go for it. Oh, remember that broken lantern? I restored it to perfection. I have to say, it's some of my best work.
That sounds like the repair job was a resounding success. Thanks, Emma. We'll take a good look at it, too.
Well, I have to be getting back to the station. Try not to mess up the crime scene if you can help it.
We'll be careful.
Seeing ya. I'll be seeing ya. Bye-bye. Bye, Emma. Thank you.
Well, shall we get started?
Thanks. Thank you.
Can't interact with that person?
Excuse me, is the fog machine ready to use now? No, I'm afraid not. We only put dry ice in it when there's an actual reception. Ah, I see. That's too bad.
She still wants to blast me with a cloud of smoke, doesn't she? Here's that broken lantern all patched up. I do mean patched.
Emma said it was some of her best work, so I know she put a lot of effort into it.
Was pretty smashed up. It must have been a lot of work to piece it back together. Well, she gets an A for effort at any rate. This wheel handle on the back has some blood on it. Looks like somebody gripped it with a bloody hand.
Maybe the blood got there when the killer was putting the Doom and Gloom's body inside.
Wait, are we saying that he crawled in there himself? He's got the bloody hand. Did he crawl in there to hide? And bled out or something?
Do you see anything else worth noting?
Well, there's another one of those lanterns over there. So it might be a good idea to really compare the two later. Why later when we can do it right now? Because there doesn't seem to be anything else we can really do in here. This is the unbroken peggable lantern. And this is the one that Emma restored. I wouldn't say they look exactly the same, but more that they're made up of the same parts. Wait a minute. What is it, Maya?
I think there's something off about this Pegable.
Just about everything about it looks off to me.
Quite sure what it is, but some detail isn't quite right.
Yeah, the tail. Maybe?
Should we their stored lantern again?
Hey, I know. It's this, right?
Where?
Shape of the horns, angle of the wings. Oh, wait. Angle of the wings. That seems right. I did think the wings looked off. That's the regular one. I mean, that's the broken one. Where's the regular one? Can I see the regular one again? Hey!
I'm just gonna go with instinct because I don't have a picture of that.
I've got it. The angle of the wing is different. And it's attached all wrong.
Well, duh, Nick. I could have told you that. There's something more subtle. It just feels slightly off. You know what I mean?
No, not really, but still, maybe it's... Color of the wheel handle? Yeah. It's a different wheel. Look, it's the wheel handle. It's a different color altogether. And I got the inside and outside wheel handles switched around.
Oh, wow, you're right.
Oh, does that mean he tried to get out?
Oh, you're right. There's blood on this handle as if somebody gripped it with a bloody hand.
Right. Which means that the blood got on the handle from inside the lantern.
You think the blood got there when the killer was putting the body in the lantern?
It's really hard to say at this point. Is there anything else actually important in this room? I don't know. Look at the Fiesta deck, maybe? Oh, shiny! This is where the murder weapon, the Timekeeper, was displayed. Guess it's in police custody now. What's this? A key? Is this a Keyblade? Kingdom Hearts? Soren? Sora? Goofy? Donald? Mickey?
Maya! So let's ask the maid about it.
Good idea. She might be able to tell us something. Excuse me, could I ask you a question?
Oh, of course. What would you like to know?
Do you know anything about this key?
What's the key that starts up the Timekeeper?
A startup key?
That's right. Oh, the first startup of the love ceremony was so beautiful. The bride and groom each had a symbol of their love when they put them together. How romantic it was.
First startup of love ceremony. What exactly does that entail?
Oh, it's a ceremony in which the couple activated the Timekeeper together for the first time. So it was kind of like a cake-cutting ceremony.
What are these symbols of their love you mentioned?
Well, that's kind of an industry secret, so I can't really say. Sorry, I better be getting back to my work.
Looks like there's an order from above not to talk about it.
Hey, I think that tablecloth is new. They must have changed it since yesterday.
How can you tell?
I guess the food stains that were there are now gone.
I should have known it was because it was food related.
Another beautiful day outside, isn't it?
Yeah, if only it wasn't the scene of a murder, we could actually enjoy it.
True.
Must be tough for some of the maids to have to work on a beautiful day like today.
Oh, we don't mind.
Look, I didn't think you could hear me from way over there.
We don't think of it as simply cleaning. It's more like wiping away all the sadness that struck the airship.
Wow, talk about devoted. Guess we've checked out everything of interest in this area. La, 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 la. Alright, sweet. Let's fucking dip then, maybe? Is it dip time? Or not dip time? Am I getting dippy? A model airplane. Perfect decoration for an airline company wedding.
And a propeller plane like this lends the room a great old-timey feel. Oh, I'd love to see the Steel Samurai fly a plane like this.
We already... Okay, that's the same. Well, one side of the room didn't seem... Oh, we can talk to the maid. Hey, take a look at that door. Wonder where it goes.
Shall we open it up and see? Oh, wait! Please don't open that! It's the emergency escape hatch! Please, directly outside, you'll fall to your death!
Okay, whoa, that was a close one, huh, Maya?
Yeah, I'll say.
That was it? That was it? That was the last bit of information we needed? Nearly falling to our deaths? Alright. Well, I think we've checked everything out relevant to this case. What are you two doing here? Wait, what are you doing here? Soren? Soren, shouldn't you be resting in bed? You're injured.
How do you know about that? Never mind. My notebook. Have you seen my notebook? I can't find it anywhere. My notebook. I need my notebook.
What's the matter with him?
My notebook. I have to have...
Master Soren! Master Soren, I told you to stay in bed.
My notebook.
Here you go.
Yeah, this is it.
Soren gets emotionally unstable without his notebook. Whew. Well, looks like he's calmed down now. Soren, do you mind if I talk to you for a minute?
I cannot allow you to do that. What if his wound were to open up again? He needs to rest.
I guess you're right.
Now, if you'll excuse us. Master Soren, let us retire. All right. There they go.
Pierce is right. I guess he really isn't in any condition to be questioned. Well, let's go back to the agency and sort through what we've learned. I wonder if Athena's died yet. We're back. Anybody here?
Oh, hey, boss.
Athena? Thought you were with Trucy.
Yes, you could say that I'm taking a short break. But enough about me. What about the investigation? Did you find anything? Anything?
Well, turns out the third person Ellen says she saw at the crime scene might have been Soren Sprocket.
What? Really? I always thought he seemed suspicious.
Thing is, by the time Soren got to the Vista deck, the murder had already occurred, apparently.
No way, I don't buy it, not for a second. It's a cover-up, I tell ya.
That's certainly a possibility. And as a lawyer, it's certainly a possibility I have to pursue, but... Hey,
Mr. Wright, please.
not... Come on. Sorry.
Pursue the heck out of it. Just do it.
Yeah, but... Is that really what's best for Ellen?
Someone could be found guilty if the truth comes out tomorrow. But if we don't pursue this possibility, Ellen will be found guilty instead. Oh man, either way, sure doesn't spell out happily ever after for them two. So what are you gonna do, Mr. Wright?
I can't let an innocent person get convicted. So I guess all I can really do is pursue the truth. Even if it ends up devastating Ellen.
What a tough call to make. Still, there's always a chance, right? Maybe something will come up during the trial that will save their marriage.
No, I hope so. I really do. Well, Maya, let's go.
Break the news to Ellen, you mean?
Yep.
Mr. Wright, please take me with you. I bet I could help you counsel Ellen through this piece of bad news.
Athena, I appreciate the offer, but don't you have somewhere else to be?
Do I? Athena, what the hell are you doing here? I've been looking all over for you. Come on now, let's get back to practicing. No, wait. My body can't take anymore. Boss, you gotta help me.
A lawyer always keeps their promises, Athena.
But boss. You bail on me one more time, Athena, I'm gonna use a real blade on you.
Sorry, Athena, but somebody's gonna do it. Better you than me, though. Got him. Hang in there, kiddo. Come on, Maya. We better get going.
That Trucy, such a kidder. You know, our kid.
Our kid? My kid.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course. Yeah, no, you're right, yeah. Your kid, yeah.
Hey, Ellen.
How'd your investigation go, Mr. Wright?
Before I answer that, I need to ask you something. Was Soren with you when Mr. Gloomsbury attacked you in the reception hall?
I'm sorry I kept it from you. I was afraid that he'd come under suspicion if I told you. I kept quiet about it. Really sorry.
I see. I thought it was probably something like that. Listen, Ellen, I'm afraid I have to make a very difficult decision based on what I found out.
What kind of decision?
This is very hard for me to say, but the mysterious person you saw at the scene of the crime was most likely Soren.
What?
In other words, in court tomorrow, I'm afraid I'll have to propose the possibility that Soren is the true culprit.
No, Soren's innocent. No.
Don't you see? If you don't try to pursue that line of thought, you'll be found guilty.
No, no, no. No!
Please, Ellen, calm down.
Soren just can't be found guilty. I'd much rather be found guilty instead. Ellen, you can't let yourself think like that. But, no. Marriage is for life, right? Do you really think you can run away from the truth and still be truly happy with him? You're not married, so how can you possibly understand? So you're just gonna do whatever it takes to make things work. But, Nick, you talk to her.
Hey, don't just dump this all on me. I'm not married either.
Mr. Wright, I'm innocent, and Soren is too. Please, prove our innocence in court.
I'll certainly do everything in my power. Just hope she doesn't lose control like this in court tomorrow. And start yelling about pleading guilty is, ugh. I hate it when my clients do that. Never helpful.
Ooh, wow, 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 wow.
September 23rd, 8:50 a.m. District Court. Defendant. Lobby number 3. I want to go for another hour and 20 minutes, but I don't know. How long is this court? Because this is going to be the last court, obviously. So I don't know if I should leave it for another day or keep going. I'm not doing it all in one, but if I do half of this, then it's going to be an incredibly short stream the next time. I could do that. Alright, let's keep going. I got an idea. Just in case. Might not happen, in case this is really long. But I have an idea if we do half now and then half next week. So the thing we found out yesterday is that Soren was there at the crime scene. I only hope I can get some testimony from him that'll get to the heart of the matter.
Mr. Wright?
Good morning, Ellen. Look, I'm afraid you might not like the result of today's trial. Nevertheless...
Don't tell me you're still thinking about going that route. Soren's innocent. He can't be found guilty. Take me instead.
Ellen, please, try to get a hold of yourself.
I believe in Soren with all my heart. So how dare you doubt him? Regardless of which one of them is found guilty today, it's gonna be devastating for Ellen, isn't it?
We'll just have to do everything we can. It's the best we can do, you know?
Trial's about to begin, Mr. Wright.
Alright, let's go, Maya.
Yeah.
Court is now back in session for the trial of Ellen Wyatt.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution's ready, Your Honor.
Let's see now. Where were we?
In yesterday's session, we found out about the Sprocket family's conspiracy to cover up the murder of Dumas Gloomberry, and with a second reception. Taking advantage of our collective shock, the defense, as usual, made a nonsensical claim. Namely, that there was a third person present who struck the victim.
Objection!
Hey, don't try to make it sound like I made it all up. The defendant herself made a statement about the existence of a third person. And further investigation has only proven her statement to be true.
Then I presume the defense intends to focus on proving the identity of this third person. Is that all right with you, Mr. Edgeworth?
Indeed, Your Honor. In fact, I predict the defense will most likely attempt to name Mr. Soren Sprocket as the true culprit.
How did you...
The driver during the accident that killed Mr. Sprocket's sister was the victim. Therefore, Mr. Sprocket had a motive to kill Mr. Gloomsbury. That's what you plan to assert, is it not, Mr. Wright? Am I that transparent? Come now, Mr. Wright, did you really think that the police wouldn't uncover this information? Congrats on getting it in one, Mr. Edgeworth.
But you're wrong. Soren didn't do it. He's innocent.
Miss Wyatt, please.
He's innocent, I tell you.
What is this, Mr. Wright? I thought your claim about the existence of a third person came from the defendant.
It did.
This is just a minor hiccup.
Did you not discuss your strategy for today with the defendant, Mr. Wright?
Starting off on the wrong foot again is seriously cutting into my lifespan. It would appear that the defense is in disarray. Therefore, the best way to clear things up is to ask Mr. Sprocket himself what happened. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call Soren Sprocket to the stand.
What? Very well. Bailiff, please bring Mr. Sprocket to the witness stand.
Good boy. Here he is. I don't know why we have to do this foot reveal thing for everyone. But yeah, we know who it is. We know what he looks like. I feel like it should only work for, like, mystery guests.
Witness, please state your occupation and name. Yes, and I know I did it in the wrong order. There was an accident. I misspoke. Ow! Oh, there's something written on this paper airplane. Let's see. Soren Sprocket, Managing Director of Sprocket Aviation. Mr. Sprocket, please give your answers in words, not paper airplanes.
Now then, Mr. Sprocket, please tell that doubting lawyer there what really happened at the time of the crime. Well, Mr. Sprocket? Mr. Sprocket!
All right.
Let me just remind you, Edgeworth, that you're the one who called Soren to the stand. Don't rub it in, right? Certainly a minor hiccup. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
You want me to talk about what happened when the crime occurred? In other words, after the first wedding reception? When Ellen and I were in the reception hall, right?
Not even the bar of the court can stop him from marching to the beat of his own drum.
Stabbed by Dumas in the reception hall, and I collapsed to the floor. The next thing I saw was Ellen and Dumas. Dumas? I think I'm saying that right. Ellen and Dumas on the Vista deck. I knew Ellen was in danger, so I headed for the Vista deck. When I got there, Dumas was already... I don't want to believe it, but it must have been Ellen. Nothing else makes sense.
Wait just a minute here. You actually think Miss Wyatt killed the victim?
That's right. Dumas was killed by Ellen.
This is unbelievable! How can you suspect your bride, the woman you love?
Objection!
Let him suspect his love, Mr. Wright. Why not? It's funny. Truth can be cruel. Miss Wyatt, you must be very upset. Is there anything you wish to say?
No, I can't believe this. Soren, I thought that at least you would believe in me.
Well, the best way to show your love for your groom is to admit your guilt and try to atone.
Soren.
Hold it!
Mr. Edgeworth, I haven't even cross-examined the witness yet. And quit picking on the clearly distraught.
Yeah, that's not cool, Mr. Edgeworth.
Court is where we seek the truth. The truth is unyielding, even to the truly pitiful.
Mr. Edgeworth, I find it distasteful to make a lady cry.
Two, Your Honor.
What are you gonna do, Nick?
The third person Ellen saw on the Vista deck was Soren, and we have to prove Soren was there at the time of the murder. I don't see any obvious inconsistencies in his testimony, but we have to push forward. So much drama. Is our defendant broken? Is she broken after that? She could be okay. Bro seemed like dead inside after that.
Hold it!
Please tell me everything you can about when you got stabbed.
After the reception, Ellen and I were enjoying a moment alone in the reception hall. Then Dumas appeared and stabbed me. Grabbed Ellen and the timekeeper and left the reception hall.
Did Mr. Gloomsbury say anything about the time? About it? Did Mr. Gloomsbury say anything at the time?
I don't remember. After I was stabbed, I was immobilized by the pain.
I see.
Hold it!
The Vista deck, huh? But it was nighttime then. Could you really see them in the darkness?
The moon was out, so I could see them clearly. From the looks of it, Dumas was trying to push Ellen and the timekeeper off the side.
So you saw the defendant. About to be thrown off the airship, you say?
That's right.
In such a desperate situation, it would only be natural to fight for her life. And the murder weapon was right there within her grasp. A foolproof. Ugh, this isn't going well at all. I've got to do something fast.
Hold it!
I did actually mention that. Yep, I did mention that today. It's literally $1. For most regions, too. Since, you know, the exchange rate for $1 is basically universally $1. You know, not exactly. I think it's like $1.50 or something here. But still, that's $1. I mean, $1.50, that's $1. Anything under, like, $1.50, you know, it's just $1. Cheap as hell. It's $5 for that and the soundtrack. I understand that your bride was in danger, but were you really able to move with a stab wound to the gut?
I was so desperately trying to push the pain out of my mind.
Oops. I see. So adrenaline kicked in and gave you strength. Do I buy Undertale? I was literally asking myself that. Like, should I buy it again? For PC. It is only $1. If I ever want to play it again, you know. It's so cheap. It's like, well, I could just get, you know, the bundle and get the soundtrack, and then I will have something of worth. But, like, I do have Undertale on PlayStation and Switch already, so, you know. Oh, yeah, also, we did talk about this earlier, but I guess I'll mention it again. The, FNAF Dead by Daylight stuff's gonna get revealed at PAX East. Very exciting for that. It's gonna be in May, but, you know, still exciting. May is seeming to be very, 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 very packed for us. I see, so adrenaline kicked in and gave you the strength, is that right? I don't see any, much of anything in this statement I can refute. Are you really filling his pockets, though? He's selling his game for $1, I mean... Bro is literally the Chad of game devs, like... He's like, yeah, we don't need the money. $1. Get yourself Undertale, bro. Like, most indie games, like, go down to, like, $15, $10 on sale. How about $1? Soon you'll be giving Undertale away for free. Like, the next... You'll just be able to download it for free soon. You get Terraria for $5. Terraria does go on sale quite often, yeah. I got my physical copy for PlayStation for like $10, I think. And I think my very first copy of Terraria was on Xbox Live Gold. I don't know if I've told this story, probably when we played Terraria, but when I first got my Xbox 360, like way after the 360 was already like phased out and Xbox Ones were out. It was like the latest model, it was like the Slim E or some shit. And I got a like trial of Gold for like a month. And that month happened to have Terraria on like Games for Gold. So I got, with my Xbox 360, Terraria, and that was like maybe one of the best things that ever happened to me. That was just like fucking phenomenal game to get with your brand new console. Like just hundreds of hours in Terraria.
That's right. I almost passed out several times as I made my way to the Vista deck.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely sure, Mr. Sprocket, that by the time you got to the Vista deck, the murder had already been committed?
Yes.
But the Vista deck is just on the other side of the glass windows in the reception hall. Shouldn't you have been able to get there right away?
Objection!
God, that is not Edgeworth. Mr. Wright, have you investigated nothing? The only way to get to the Vista deck is to go through the hole and take the lift. Another core memory made by a 2000s console. That's basically all. Well. No, that's not true, actually. I did have a PS1 growing up for a little while. No matter how much one hurries, it would take at least 10 minutes. Well, that's unhelpful. But Soren had gotten there before the murder, or my claim won't stand. You have any ideas for me, Maya?
It's definitely easier to prove that someone did go to the hold than not. I mean, you can't leave anything if you don't go someplace, right?
Can't leave anything. Wait a minute. I think Maya's onto something here. A lack of a certain something actually proves that Soren didn't go to the hold. What's the matter? Are you stumped already? No, I'm far from stumped, Mr. Edgeworth. I know for a fact that Mr. Sprocket didn't go to the hold. Isn't it crazy that I got my 360 in, like, 2014 or 2015? Like, that late. That's when I first got, like... That was my first actual console, like, my console. It was so late, because we were so poor. So we could only get, like, an Xbox 360 pre-owned, like, fucking several years after it came out. You and your paper-thin bluffs. Mr. Sprocket's bloodstain on the lift proves he went through the hole. So what possible proof do you have that he did not, in fact, go through there? You want proof? You got it! You can do this, Phoenix. There's gotta be proof that Soren didn't go through the hold.
Well, Mr. Wright?
This proves that Sprocket didn't go through the hold. Xbox is now modern-day Sega, except Sega actually makes games. It's funny, because it's true. They're literally going to become Sega, and they're going to stop making consoles. And if that rumor about their next Xbox being a borderline PC that can use Steam could save them. Like, if that is real, and, like, it's, like, good like, gaming specs, I might have to consider that. Like... Being able to play games through... I've been saying this forever. Having an Xbox game drive that you can play Xbox games via your computer, it's ingenious. Like, I don't know why it's not just a periphery you can buy for a computer, even if it's like $500. Like, then you can just play games on your, like, PC from Xbox Series X, 360, Xbox Original, just all Xbox games work. You got the Game Pass, you've got... That would be... insane value. And then you can do everything a computer does. You can make your living off of it. You can edit videos. You can stream. You can fucking, I don't know, watch porn. Whatever you want. It's too good. It's like, that would be expensive. But like, if it is as powerful as an X and can play games in that fidelity, then you'd only really have to pop on like a Windows OS. And even if it can't do much on that side, like, if you have both, then that's crazy. And if it can use, like, the game system from Steam for, you know, the Xbox drive or whatever, using all of that, like, internals for Steam games, it would work perfectly fine. That'd be awesome. Because then I could play the Banjo remasters, you know? Finally. Yeah, there you go. There you go. It's genius. And it is Microsoft. That's what I've been saying for years, you know? They're already Microsoft, so why not? You're failing as a console, so combine them. Why not? I say, why not? You can release like a little mini box where you put the disc in and then you just plug it into your computer and away you go. Like an actual fucking GameCube. Proof that he didn't go in the hold. Oh wait, the keycard thing? Do we still have that?
Take that!
Oh! As anyone can see from the hold entry record, there's absolutely no mention of Soren Sprocket entering the hold. The defense asserts that Mr. Sprocket used a different route to get to the Vista deck. You can assert all you want, Mr. Wright, but can you actually prove another route exists? Can I prove the existence of another route to the Vista deck? Wait, that was it? Oh yeah, an Xbox handheld? No way, Brett. They can't make that work. But what if Xbox handheld, but it's also a Steam Deck? Wait a minute. Steam Deck and Xbox handheld combination. It takes it takes Xbox discs and plays Steam games. No, that's crazy. That's crazy talk. That's bananas. That's B-A-N-A-N-A-S. That could never happen. That's like it's one of those dream consoles that you like just keep adding things to. Like the fucking Xbox 39,000 or whatever. Another route to the Vista Deck, eh? Eh, Luigi? Can we prove that? I'm not sure. Oh, wait! The exit door, maybe? Yeah, if Xbox had access to Steam, could have played PlayStation games on Steam. Yeah, I saw a short of that. I saw a short of that, of the rumor. I don't know if it's like confirmed or not, but it was a short made by somebody. And it was like, you know, yeah, Xbox. What about your essential games? It's like, well, PlayStation, we'll actually have your essential games soon. Because our new Xbox will be able to play Steam games. It's like, oh, fuck. Oh no. I can? Sure, I can, maybe. I can prove it. It's just a bluff. I have to present something. Anything that could prove the existence of a faster route to the Vista Deck.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Very well. Please show us how Mr. Sprocket got to the Vista Deck.
Through the exit. Through this. I knew it had to have been important. To save his bride from danger, Mr. Sprocket opened the escape hatch and made his way alongside the wall to the Vista Deck. Isn't that right, Mr. Sprocket? I'm right.
That would certainly be a much faster route to the Vista Deck.
Can't believe Nintendo might be the only one with true console exclusives in like 10 years. And you know what's fucked up? It's gonna work completely to their benefit. Them being completely like separated, like, and then PlayStation and Xbox, people are just gonna get a computer now. People are just gonna have a computer. The only console people are gonna have in 10 years that they're gonna still be buying is like Nintendo Switches. Like they're gonna only be getting Switch 2s. Nintendo is gonna be making bank, brother. They're gonna be making bank, alright? Like, the Switch 2 has already been estimated to be one of the biggest gaming launches of all time. Like, that's already being estimated by analysts or whatever. And, you know, that doesn't mean anything, but, you know, if it's being estimated to be that big, it's probably going to be at least a percentage of that. And once Xbox and PlayStation start putting, like, most of their exclusives day and date with Steam, bro, it's over. Nintendo wins. They've held the long haul. They're like, oh, we don't care about this. You know, we're not in the console wars. What's that? We don't know what that is. But they were secretly winning the whole time. They're waiting. They were waiting. They're holding their cards close to their chest.
That would certainly be a much faster route to the Vista Deck.
Objection!
I'm disappointed, Mr. Wright. Is that really the best you could muster? That escape hatch is not meant to be used to get to the reception hall of the Vista Deck. One slip and that's all it would take for Mr. Sprocket to plunge to his death. Yep.
I have to agree, the defense's claim is really stretching it.
Hold it!
I understand how it sounds, Your Honor. But at this point, it's too early to definitively say that he didn't go that way.
So, that's what you're going with then, I take it.
Of course, Your Honor.
This is real life, Mr. Wright, not some cinematic drivel or comic book. Do you really have some sort of logical explanation to share that would convince us of your claim?
Want to ask him? Get an answer out of him? Does he confirm or deny it? Like, doesn't he get a say in it? Can he defend himself? Doesn't he have a right to fucking defend himself? Like, bro is literally not saying shit.
I do.
Are you sure, Nick? Kinda?
Actually, I have nothing. So I'll just have to wing it somehow. On what do you base your theory that Mr. Sprocket made his way along the outside?
My theory is that he was able to go alongside the outside wall despite the danger. My theory that he was able to go along the outside wall despite the dangers based on the power of love. To save the bride he loves, the groom risked his life and rushed to her side. Mr. Sprocket was able to make it to the Vista deck despite the danger. Because of the power of love.
The power of love? Well, that love is a source of strength that can help one overcome any obstacle. I think I can relate, thanks to my own long, happy marriage.
Oh, he actually seems to be buying it.
Objection!
Mr. Lovelace is not.
The power of love, you say? That kind of illogical argument is hardly viable in a court of law. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? I'm afraid not, Mr. Edgeworth. You should never underestimate the power of love. You'll understand one day when you get married. Which I won't. I am a bachelor through and through. I have no need for the drivel, such as love. What me and Wright have cannot be replaced with some whore. Wow.
Looks weird in 3D. What, Edgeworth? I think it looks better in 3D without his glasses than he did with them.
Exactly what is so wrong with wishing to remain unwed?
Way to set him off, Your Honor.
Never mind all this unscientific nonsense. Are you aware, Mr. Wright, that at the time of the crime, there were huge propellers turning at full speed between the hatch and the Vista deck? Even if a person were to go inside through this hatch, they'd be blown away in an instant.
It's him, but something doesn't feel right. Yeah, there is a... Yeah, I get what you mean. It's a little uncanny valley.
A huge spinning propeller, you say? Well, in that case, I have to admit, it does seem impossible. I should have known.
Nick, you can't make that kind of face in front of your client. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles, right?
Right.
I think I just saw Mia looking out at me through Maya's eyes.
What's wrong, Nick? Why are you gaping at me like a giant sunfish?
Thank you, Maya. You just helped me remember something really important.
There it is. That's the fearless smile I was looking for. Now, give us a mind-blowing theory just like you always do.
To turn my thinking around. Instead of wondering how Soren could have moved past that huge propeller, I have to think about what would have made it possible for him to do so. The next game should be super high quality 2D pixel art. Well, I think the next game should actually take some inspiration from Persona. I think it should take Persona's 3D art style and kind of go from there and use like 2D character portraits for interrogations and stuff. I think that would be a good way to do it. And do keep in mind, these are like 3DS games that have been ported. These are 3DS games, not console games. So this isn't like a Pokemon situation where this is the best they can do. This is just like a remaster. So the next Ace Attorney game, if it is 3D, will be like fully developed for console. So it'll look fantastic. And it's by Capcom. And they, you know, they do the Resident Evil remakes and stuff. You know, we know they're capable of incredible graphics. Oh, and Monster Hunter, that just came out. Yeah, That too. Mr. Wright only makes that ridiculous face when his back pressed against a wall. Therefore, please do hurry and give your... Mr. Edgeworth, it's still far too early to discount my theory. What are you talking about? The airship's large spinning propellers have already shredded it to pieces. But if we think about it a little more outside the box, I'm sure we can find a way he could have made it. Stop trying to stall, Mr. Wright. And show us how it could have been remotely possible, if at all.
I must agree with Mr. Edgeworth.
Very well, Your Honor. There must have been a way. Some way that Soren could have moved along that wall despite the propeller.
Now then, Mr. Wright, what specifically would have made it possible?
The airship wasn't flying. What allowed Mr. Sprocket to go along the outside wall in spite of the propellers is the location of the flying chapel at the time of the crime.
The location of the flying chapel? But wasn't it flying high in the sky?
No, Your Honor, I'm afraid it wasn't.
What? Then where was it?
At the time of the murder, the airship wasn't flying through the sky, but moored to the ground.
What? What? Sorry, I'm trying something. I say what all the time, so I've got to, like, mix it up a little bit.
If the airship wasn't flying, then that means the propellers weren't turning. In which case, Mr. Sprocket could have gotten to the Vista deck alongside the outside wall. Isn't that right, Mr. Sprocket? He hurt his thumb. I don't remember. He stabbed himself with his pencil. That's gonna leave a mark.
Objection!
Even if the propellers weren't turning, it would have been far too risky to go that way. Ah, but Mr. Edgeworth, you're forgetting about the power of love.
Yes, the amazing power of love.
Not this again. Very well, for the sake of the argument, let's assume this so-called power of love made it possible for Mr. Sprocket to move alongside the outside wall of the airship. Can you prove that the airship was tied to the ground as you claim, Mr. Wright?
Well,
Yes, I can, actually. I don't have any evidence that proves the airship where the airship was at the time. Actually, we do, Mr. Wright, if you would like to put two and two together. You can prove it, can't you? Can you think of anything we can use to prove it? I can't say I can. Oh, wait! Didn't somebody see something outside a window at the time of the crime? I think I remember someone saying as much. Yep. Well, what are you waiting for? Waiting for you to shut your big sexy face up. Because this'll prove my theory. This piece of evidence shows that the outside of the airship at the time of the murder. What kind of lousy drawing is that? The drawing made by Larry Butts. And what can you prove with that poor attempt at artistry? I didn't think it looked that bad, but Larry made this drawing before he switched the lanterns. So it must have been right around the time the murder was committed. Now, if you would direct your... now, if I could direct the court's attention here.
is that a pterodactyl? Does that mean the airship actually went back to the Cretaceous period?
Your Honor, you know the name for the Cretaceous period, yet you're still, authenticating this theory? Can we get an autopsy report to see when the bodies were killed? I mean, yeah. We know roughly when it was. 10 to 1.
Objection!
We've already proven that time travel is nothing more than a gimmick, did we not? We did, and I have no intention of bringing up that argument again. But this drawing shows us an important piece of information. It shows us that the airship was actually moored to the ground. What makes you so sure? Well, that's easy. All you have to do is consider who made this drawing. That's also true. Whip, whip, whip. Whip, 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 whip. Larry. That's right. I saw Mr. Butts and we both know what he's like. He must have seen something else and mistaken it for a pterodactyl. I can't argue with you there. Hey, wait a doggone second here! What kind of a moron do you guys take me for? Why are you here? I saw it with my own eyes. The pterodactyl flew right by the window, I tell ya! That's the sharp eyes of an artist. Don't you believe me? No. Nick. Nope. Some friends you guys are. What about the judge? You believe me, right, Your Honor?
Nope. Sorry, but I'm afraid you need to leave this courtroom. Bailiff, if you would. Come on, buddy, let's go.
Why doesn't anybody believe me? Don't take it personally, Larry. I know you're just being, well, you.
Well, he needs to go on some ADHD meds or something. No. So you're saying that Mr. Butts really saw... bear some relation to what was outside the airship at the time of the murder?
Yes, Your Honor. At least, I think it does. What this pterodactyl really is will prove the airship was anchored at the mooring dock. It had better, anyway. If it doesn't, my whole argument is a bust.
Well, if you're that confident about it, please, go ahead. Tell us what it really was.
Yes, Your Honor.
Finally, we can fucking prove it.
Take that!
Please take a good look at the sign.
At the sign? It appears to have been broken and then repaired. But what does this sign have to do with the pterodactyl?
Please focus on this part of the sign.
The part that broke off and got reattached? What about it?
Now how about if we turn it around like this?
Oh, that shape! It's the pterodactyl from the drawing!
What Mr. Butts actually saw was this chunk as it was being blown through the air by wind.
What?
On the day of the murder, there were some heavy winds in the area of the mooring dock. It's hard to imagine that the sun would make it as high up as an airship would fly. That means the Flying Chapel must have been anchored at the mooring dock that night. Isn't that right, Mr. Sprocket?
Objection!
That's more than enough of this power of love nonsense, you pop culture junkie. Present all the proof you want, but your argument is based far too much in conjecture. Better we return to reality now. What do you mean, too much conjecture? Even if the airship wasn't flying, that alone doesn't prove the witness went along the wall.
True. Even now, it's no more than a possibility.
And how do you propose Mr. Sprocket got to the Vista deck, Mr. Edgeworth? I noticed something as I went over the evidence. Please take a look at this hold entry record. What about it? I'm waiting for the whole season to be out, which I think it just concluded yesterday, so I'll be getting onto it. I've only seen the, I only saw the launch. What do you call that when a cartoon launches? The premiere? I only watched the premiere episodes, the first 3. So I haven't seen anything beyond that. I know one detail. I know they're taking inspiration from the Invincible War in the comics. I haven't read the comics, but I've seen, you know, it's kind of hard. There's some YouTube thumbnails out there that'll just be like,
The Invincible War?
it's like, okay, well, I can kind of piece two and two together what that means. You know, some Spider-Verse shit, essentially. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna probably start watching it after this stream, honestly. I'm probably gonna go grab, like, some popcorn, crack open an energy drink, and go ham wild after I make some thumbnails or something. It's gonna be fun. Is it finished? I think it is. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure, I did check last night. I think it's only 8 episodes. But I was on my phone, so I couldn't really tell if they just didn't give me all the info. Last episode came out today. Okay, cool. 8 episodes. Alright, sweet. Oh yeah, and I guess speaking of cartoons as well, Dragon Ball's Daima's dub is going to finish in May. May 23rd, it said on Reddit. So, Jesus Christ, I gotta wait so long before I get to watch it. I might just have to, like, watch some of it. I might just have to, like... But the thing is, because I'm gonna have to buy Crunchyroll twice if I want to do that. Like, it's fucked up, man. I ain't watching no fucking sub. Not when the old voice actor came back. I'm not depriving myself of that. Ugh. I might just have to watch, like, the first few dubbed episodes and then wait for the next lot to come out. But, again, then I'll have to buy it twice. It's on Netflix, not the dubbed version. Only subbed, I checked. It's bullshit. I've checked multiple times. It's only subbed on Netflix.
I don't see Mr. Sprocket listed on this anywhere. Don't you remember? In yesterday's session, we had a very similar kind of argument. Did we? Honestly, Mr. Wright, are you going senile already? We talked about Larry Butts using the defendant's keycard to enter the hold. Oh, we did talk about that, didn't we?
I wasn't waiting that long, so you watched the subbed. Yeah, it's fine. But the thing is, when I watch something, I'm not really watching it. When I watch something, I'm usually playing a video game or doing something else. Very rarely will I sit down and watch something. Like the first 3 Invincible episodes, I did like sit down and watch that because I was really excited. And you know, sometimes I will. Like, maybe I'll get distracted, maybe I'll get really absorbed in a show, and then I will just watch it. If I just, like, forget what I'm doing, or, you know, I'm too invested. But a lot of other times, I am playing, like, something on the other screen. Like, I'm grinding an Isaac, or playing, like, recently I've been playing through Sonic Colors, because it was on the PS Plus. By the way, if you have PS Plus, pick up Sonic Colors. It's free for everybody who has any sort of subscription. The PlayStation version of Sonic Colors is actually amazing. Like, I remember hating the Ultimate version on Switch. That shit runs like fucking absolute dog shit. But the version on PlayStation, I actually love it. I'm so invested. I love Sonic Colors again, and I'm so happy that the game I loved as a childhood isn't a piece of shit. It was just the people who ported it that are pieces of shit. Because that should run on Switch easy peasy. It was a fucking Wii game. I don't know how they flubbed it up so bad, but... Sorry, a little angry about that. Because they made me think that I hated Sonic Colors. I hated everything about the Switch version. And then I played the PlayStation version. Hell, I'm nearly 100% at the game. It's so fun. It runs so well. It doesn't look great. You know, they could have done more there. As seen by, like, what the fans did, but... Man. You know, and it's free for everybody who has any sort of PS Plus subscription, so... If you even have, like, the base one, I'd say, you know, download it, give it a try. You know, it's a good Sonic game. It's very good. It's not perfect, obviously, but yeah, they really should. Poor guy. Man, if I had a good PC, I would be playing the Unleashed port. Like, I don't even know if we'd be playing Ace Attorney right now if I had a better PC. Like, I would be playing the Unleashed PC port. I just would. I'd just be playing that. Like, Unleashed is, like, one of my favorite games of all time. Just nostalgia-wise. And it's been getting a lot more love recently, and that fan port, it just has, like... It's so beautiful. If you don't like know anything about Sonic Unleashed, I'd say just go look at some of the new gameplay. That it's just been up-resed, by the way. They haven't done anything really. It's up-res and runs like in a higher frame rate for PC. Just go look at some of like the recompile or whatever it's called, and just look at how good that game fucking looks. That game came out in like 20. It's like, what was it, like 2010? It was like fucking very long ago. Wait. But it looks phenomenal for an old game. It came out in 2008. 2008. That's actually roughly what I was thinking, but that game looks way too good. No, it's a fan port. Fans made that. You think Sega did that? No, it's a fan port. To play it, you need to have files from like an official disc, or you can go sail the seven seas, which most people probably would have to do because there's no official Unleashed port. So, Anyway, sorry. Especially after Shadow Generations, I really wanted to give more Sonic games another go. And obviously play Unleashed again, because that was a big part of my childhood, and that was one of my favorite games. It's the first game I ever double dipped on. In fact, actually, fun fact. It's the first game I bought twice. Maybe I'll save some of those stories for when we play Sonic Unleashed, because I'm 100% intending to play it on stream whenever I can. Whether it's via that PC port, or maybe Sega will do a remake or a remaster at some point, at some other time. And if you do, take notes from the fans, please, like Ace Attorney does. See, I brought it back to Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney loves the fans, absolutely adores the fans. They take, like, fan feedback and credit and everything, and they don't take their credits, but you know what I mean. They're, like, very respectful. Hey, Fernand. Silver's the best hedgehogs. Well, we'll leave it at that. No comment on that one. He isn't the ultimate life form, is all I gotta say. It's still possible for that person to have entered by using someone else's card. Mr. Sprocket, you entered the hole with Mr. Nickety, didn't you? I've not played Sonic Racing, no. I did. He played Sonic Racing, apparently. I have Sonic Team Racing. Is that the one you're talking about? Unless you just mean in general, have I played a Sonic Racing game? In which case, yes, I had Sonic Transformed back in the day on 360. I mean, at that point, I kind of just want to play Mario Kart. Like, why would I play Sonic Kart? I can play Mario Kart. And I don't think Sonic Kart provides anything. Like, Crash Team Racing at least provides, like, a skill ceiling and an in-depth system. Sonic's one is just like, well, the servers probably will be, very dead at a certain point. So it's just like, eh. And that new Sonic Racing game kind of looks bad. The graphics look bad, in my opinion. I'm just scared of you. I'm actually scared of Rouge the Bat. Oh, right, I still have Undertale as $1. Oh, it's $1.19 for us. But still, that's just $1. And it's $5.50 for that and the soundtrack. I bought, back in the day... Sorry, we're going on such a tangent here. But a few years ago, I bought, like, a Sonic pack on Humble Bundle. And it basically gave you access to, like, every Sonic game that's on Steam at the time. So I've got SA2, I've got SADX, Generations, Mania. Original Generations, before they even announced Sonic X Shadow. I got, let's see, Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, Sonic Forces, Sonic Lost World, Sonic Team Racing. Oh, sorry, Team Sonic Racing. I just got, like, every Sonic game, and it was, like, $5 or something for all of them. It was a good deal. Mario would never do that. Oh my god, could you imagine that? Buying every Mario game in one? Sorry, I have another tangent to go on. I'm sorry. Yesterday, I bought something for stream that we've been meaning to play forever, and I think I'm gonna just fuck it, play it. We're gonna play it very soon, I think. I bought a Skyward Sword. I finally got it. So, yesterday I found out that EB Games was holding a buy two, get one free. So I ended up doing that. I got Sackboy's Big Adventure, because I've been on a Little Big Planet kick lately. I've been recommended a lot of videos about it. So I was just interested, and I was like, may as well play it. A little sad, because it was on PS Plus not that long ago, and I just did not add it to my library, where I totally should have, even if I didn't want to play it at the time. But I got that, and I got Final Fantasy VII Remake as well as Skyward Sword. Wind Waker and Twilight Princess believers buy Skyward Sword right before the ports. I mean, honestly, I'm fucking tired of waiting. I want to play another Zelda game. To be fair, I haven't finished the other Zelda game we're doing, so maybe we should beat that one first. But yeah, maybe I should. Maybe before we do Skyward Swords, I should finish that Echoes of Wisdom, because I did really love it. I just didn't beat it. But yeah, we're definitely gonna do Skyward Sword soon. I really want to play it. I just want to play another Zelda game, you know? I really am excited for Wind Waker and Twilight when they eventually get here. Like, Nintendo, please! Why did you exclude Wind Waker and Twilight? It makes no sense. Why didn't you? Why didn't you port them? You ported everything else. What the fuck? Why did you not port that? I don't get it. Anyway, sorry. Back to Ace Attorney. What? Why didn't you just tell us that in the first place? Pierce is indispensable. One picture of the guy mining for diamonds. I know. Hey, I was still gonna play Skyward Sword anyway. By the way. I wasn't holding out because of some, like, theory or anything. Like, I wasn't trying to vote with my wallet. We were gonna stream Skyward Sword, like, the whole time. The only reason I didn't want to do it sooner is because it released afterwards. That was the Wii one. Twilight Princess, obviously. Launched on the Wii as well, but I digress. That was, you know, like, it was launched on the GameCube as well. The Skyward Sword was made for the Wii. So I kind of wanted to do them in release order, but you know what? Maybe we'll do it in no, I was gonna say chronological order, but we've already done Ocarina of Majora. Because I think Skyward Sword is the first in the timeline. I think at the moment it's like the origin of the Master Sword or whatever. I didn't want to mention him unnecessarily and risk having him wrongly accused. Well, I think it's actually rightly accused. I think he's the guy. I couldn't do without him.
Mr. Sprocket, I ask that you testify in greater detail about your movements that night.
The truth is, I went to the Vista deck with Pierce. That's why my name doesn't appear on the hold record. I was badly injured from being stabbed, but I was frantic. By the time we reached the scene, it was all over.
Well, this doesn't help me out one bit.
But it's odd, because he seemed really nervous about us getting close, about him taking the route, the exit door. And then that was treated as evidence, so...
Mr. Sprocket, you've concealed information from us time and time again. Who do you think you are, treating this court of law with such irreverence?
That being said, I do appreciate the testimony you gave just now. Thanks to you, we now know why your name doesn't appear on the entry record. Now there are no more inconsistencies in the witness's testimony.
That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. He never leaves a loose end dangling. You okay, Nick?
I wouldn't exactly call this situation okay. Somehow I'll have to coax the information we need for an opening out of him. If I even can, that is.
If I even can, that is. If I even can, that is.
Hold it!
You didn't mention this because you didn't want Mr. Nickety to fall under suspicion? Is that because he had something to hide?
I just didn't want the police to take up his time with all their questions, that's all. Neither the company nor the household would function smoothly without him.
I see. Wow, sounds like Pierce is absolutely indispensable to the Sprockets. Anyway, getting back to your statement, when did you meet up with Mr. Nickety? Tomorrow's your last day before spring break. Definitely way too hopeful for a Switch 2 release around right now. I think you may have... Yeah, I get what you're meaning, though. Yes, hopefully it releases before you go back to school. That would be great. I'm still hoping for a May release, even though if it does, we're fucked. The sooner the better. May is just very packed, full of games coming out, so it might be a little hectic if that does come out in May. It would be better timeline-wise if it was June. That's when everybody says it is. Maybe early June. Maybe like June 10th, June 14th. You know, around then. Maybe halfway through June. I just hope it's on the sooner side, you know. When did you meet up with Mr. Nickety?
We met up on the way to the Vista deck. I think Pierce and some of my relatives were on another floor. But Pierce heard the commotion and came running to my side.
You could hear the pandemonium all the way from another floor?
Mr. Wright, would you like the current statement added to the witness testimony?
I was going to check the evidence, but never mind. Yes, please, Your Honor.
Very well.
I'm hoping the new Ace Attorney game gets revealed at the Switch thing, but it's mostly going to be Switch 2 stuff, I know, but I mean, still, there's going to be a lot of new games being shown off, so... I think the shipments might mean an earlier release as well. At least, it's going to be at least May. At least. I don't think it can be before May. It can't be in April. I mean, that would be insane if it was April. They're like, it comes out April 25th. The fuck? Bro, that's less than a month. But I think it'll be... I think it's either May. It's got to be at least May or June. I don't think it'll be any sooner, any later. It's got to be one of those two. It's either like mid to late May or mid to late June, I guess. It's like that sequence. It's like from the second half of May to the first half of June. That's the release window I'm expecting. Yeah. That's our copium answer, yeah. Bro, it'd be insane if it was fucking April, can you imagine? It's like, yep, it comes out on April 15th. Like, what? Excuse me? Yeah, you only got like 15 days to pre-order, so get pre-ordering. It's like, heard the commotion and came running. Do, 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 do. Would that make scalping more likely or less? If there's enough consoles, probably it'd make it less likely. Especially if it's out of the blue. If it's out of the blue, I feel like we would be faster than the scalpers. But maybe not. Because if scalpers have time to get ready, they're just going to have a bunch of computers ready to go. But if Nintendo's like, we're shadow dropping pre-orders right now, then I think a lot more actual people would get them. I would hope so. But with how much Nintendo is trying to combat scalping this time around, I feel like it's not going to be a problem. Like, even if you don't get, like, the first batch, I think the second batch is not going to be far away. I think if they somehow sell out for pre-orders, it will only be, like, later that month that new stock will come in. I'm guessing they're going to just go fucking crazy. Like, even if they make a shit ton, as long as they're selling, it doesn't matter how much they make. As long as it sells. I think it's going to sell. I don't know if I have anything to say that's
Hold it!
incorrect. Did Mr. Nickety come alone?
I believe some of his subordinates were with him, but I don't remember exactly how many.
You may say there were others, but seeing how they pulled off that second reception, I can't completely trust anything he has to say either. I see, so you, Mr. Nickety, and a few others headed to the Vista Deck, is that right?
That's right.
Hold it!
Your name doesn't appear on the hold entry record? Because you entered with Mr. Nickety using his keycard? Yeah, Xbox, sorry, excuse for console, sold 30 mil, so, you know, surely Switch does good. I think it will. I mean, I think it undoubtedly will sell. Like, people right now are like, oh, you know, I think it'll do better than the Switch. I don't think it'll do better than the Switch. I think at first it won't, and then it'll surpass it eventually. I think once the Switch 2 Pro comes out, because I think this is probably going to be the gen we get a Pro. We're probably going to get a beefed up Switch 2, probably like in 4 years. And then we'll get the Switch 3 or whatever they're going to plan after that in like another 2. I feel like that's going to be the timeline. I feel like once that Switch Pro gets announced and everybody's like, oh, okay, maybe now's a good time to hop over once Switch 2 gets a price drop. And then I think it'll just start fucking going crazy. And, you know, it also depends on what, you know, system sellers we get. Obviously, we got Mario Kart 9 right away. New 3D Mario is going to happen in, like, October. So, you know, that's 2 big games right there that everybody's been anticipating, so. Has to be here for 10 years. I think the Switch 2 is going to end up being kind of similar to how they're going to treat the Switch 1 year 1, but more. I think it's going to be more like the PS4 and 5 for Switch 2 and 3. If they're going to go for that, if they're going to stick with the Switch as their family console, like their family line, for now, I think Switch 2 and Switch 3 will be completely backwards compatible. If Switch 3 can play Switch 1 games, everybody else is cooked. Switch wins. Like, if Switch 3 is that goated, that it lets you play all 3 of them, because Nintendo does, like, you know, eventually when they get too far, they kind of cut some loose. You know, Wii U cut GameCube compatibility, 3DS cut GBA compatibility. I think if Switch 3 has complete backwards compatibility with the rest of it, we're golden. We're golden for the next fucking 20 years. You entered with Mr. Nickety using his keycard?
That's right.
So I guess the hold entry record doesn't matter as much as we thought. But now that Soren's saying he was with Pierce and a few others, it's pretty tough to refute that statement. What's the matter, Mr. Wright? Cat got your tongue? Switch 3 doesn't, it would cook itself and shit the bed. Yeah, unless it's like crazy fucking good. it's got like fucking the greatest graphics of all time, then maybe it could justify it. But you know, if they're doing another Switch, it would have to play everything. I don't see why it wouldn't. Unless they want to change like the medium as to what they're using. Like maybe they're gonna switch from cartridges to discs. But at that point, like, just keep the digital stuff. Well, I mean, yeah. The Switch 2 implies the existence of a line, you know? Are they really gonna just stop at the Switch 2? We could have the NS3, NS4, NS5, NS6, NS7. The NSX. The NS Series X. What's the matter, Mr. Wright? Cat got your tongue? Did you finally realize there's no point in continuing this trial any longer? Of course not! Wipe that smug look off your face. Mr. Sprocket, please continue with your testimony.
Hold it!
Yeah. No, of course. It is... I think Switch 2 is going to be Nintendo's PS4. I think that, you know, that's like the comparison. I'm 100% confident that it will be Nintendo's PS4. It's going to sell really well. It's going to have lots of great exclusives. And then the Switch 3 is going to be basically like, you know, just a loading screen update, basically. You know? But would Switch 3 drop the portability? If it gets too powerful, it can't be in a handheld. Would it drop the portability? Now, I don't think they would do that. I think they're probably going to spend most of the Switch 2's life trying to figure out how to make it like extraordinarily powerful and keep the price low. I think they're probably doing that with Switch 2 as well, but I think they're going to continue that line. I hope. I hope they do. Speaking of your injury, how are you doing now? The knife wound is deep, and it continues to throb with pain. Fortunately, my internal organs were spared. One wrong move would have spelled the end for me there. Even so, I've seen you up and about all over the place since the incident. I'm only following my doctor's orders to perform some daily light exercises.
Mr. Wright, would you like Mr. Sprocket's statement about his condition added to this testimony? Not that it appears especially relevant to me.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to have it added to this testimony.
I see. Very well.
Yeah. Because it's not a knife wound.
Objection!
Jackass. Mr. Sprocket, you said your injury was a knife wound, didn't you? But the weapon you were stabbed with was the candelabra. A fact I know you're quite aware of. Such a good frame. I love that frame. This is like Markiplier before he punches you in that one video he did. Oh yeah, no, it is. I already got it.
Objection!
I got it when they first showed it. Must have been a simple memory slip that made him misspeak. It happens to everyone. Has nothing to do with the case. You must be pretty desperate to point out something so minute.
I have to agree, Mr. Wright. You fucking suck. You lost your edge. But Edgeworth, he did not. You hardly need to make such a big deal over such a small mistake.
But I contend that is an important inconsistency. Besides, I couldn't find anything else. It's the only thing I have to go after. And I say it's not important. Now, let's not waste any more time on the matter.
I agree. Everybody has a little memory lapse every now and then.
Hold it!
But Your Honor, please let me explain.
But can you really explain to this court what makes this slip so important?
Yes, I can, Your Honor. After all, it was Soren himself who told Pierce that he'd been stabbed by a candelabra. This is more than a simple memory slip. There has to be some kind of reason for it.
Well, Mr. Wright, please explain why the witness's slip of the tongue is so important.
The point to focus on here is why the witness would mistake the weapon used to stab him. Think carefully, Phoenix. This could very well change the course of this trial.
I see. So, why did the witness think... why did the witness make that mistake, Mr. Wright?
He's covering for someone. He has no memory of it. Ooh! Maybe. He doesn't remember the incident, let alone the weapon used against him. Not only that, but I believe Mr. Sprocket has some sort of memory disorder. Therefore, the defense contends that Mr. Sprocket's testimony thus far is invalid.
Objection!
Good night, Foolproof. Have a good sleep. Have a good day at school. I will have my work, so I will not be here. Just because you can't find a flaw in his testimony, you want to throw it all out. Oh, baseless claim is nothing more but slander of the witness's character.
Mr. Edgeworth is correct, Mr. Wright. Can you explain your grounds for making this claim?
Of course, Your Honor. Think of what Soren has said. How he's behaved. And that's where I'll find a clue.
Very well. Let's hear your argument, then.
My grounds for claiming that Mr. Sprocket has a memory disorder is... his notebook. The notebook he always has with him. I saw daily events and information about the people around him recorded in it.
Like a diary, perhaps?
No, Your Honor. It's much too detailed to be an ordinary diary. It's more on the order of a database, actually.
A database, you say?
That's right. For some reason, Mr. Sprocket is apparently unable to retain memories. That's why he writes every little detail of his life down in his notebook.
Objection!
How could you possibly know that for sure? He might just be an extremely compulsive person. I thought so, too, myself. At first. To be honest, we accidentally got a stain on the notebook yesterday. You mean you got a stain on it? But you're the one who tried to grab it out of my...
Objection!
Never mind whose fault it was. Let's get to the point already. Right. Sorry. Mr. Sprocket. The page Miss Fay got a stain on yesterday. That's the page with the details of your stabbing on it, isn't it? No. I only write in this notebook because I'm very compulsive. Now drop the subject already. Sorry, but I'm not convinced. I noticed an odd fact about your notebook, Mr. Sprocket. On the earlier pages, you used to write down invention ideas, but after a certain date, you started writing down a lot more, and in much more detail. I believe your memory disorder stems from what happened on that date.
Something so monumental it caused a memory disorder, Mr. Wright?
You don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, but I do know what I'm talking about, and this is proof.
Take that!
You were involved in this car accident too, weren't you, Mr. Sprocket? And the shock of losing your beloved older sister is what caused you to develop your memory disorder. Oh, I thought it was because of the car crash. It was because he lost his sister. It was emotionally brought on. I thought it was like an actual just... he got like some brain damage or something and then he's got like a memory leak. Is this true, Mr. Sprocket?
Well, is it?
Mr. Sprocket! It's true. That accident did something to my mind. What? Ever since that day, every time I go to sleep, I lose my memories. And when I wake up, the most recent thing I can remember is the day I lost my sister. It's as if I'm constantly going back in time.
What? That's truly tragic.
inconsolable time traveler who goes back in time whenever he goes to sleep. Oh, that's so sad. So that's what Soren meant. He was talking about himself. The recreations of the people around me each time I awoke made me aware of my condition. That's why I decided to write everything down in my notebook, so I could move forward. So the only memories you have since that day are the ones written in that notebook? That's right. And since the page about your stabbing got stained, you couldn't read it, could you? There's just one more thing I'd like you to clarify for me, Mr. Sprocket. Exactly what are your feelings towards the victim?
Mr. Sprocket's feelings towards Dumas Gloomsbury?
That's right, Your Honor. The witness said that every time he wakes up from sleep, his mind goes back to the day his sister died.
Mr. Wright, you can't mean...
Mr. Sprocket! Your pent-up feelings of anger and resentment towards Mr. Gloomsbury for the accident were renewed each and every time you woke, were they not? But you couldn't take it anymore, so you turned to murder. Isn't that right?
What? Mr. Wright, are you saying that the witness murdered Mr. Gloomsbury? For revenge?
Well, Mr. Sprocket? Yep. Miss Wyatt!
Your Honor, I did it. I killed Mr. Gloomsbury.
No! What?
She's covering for him. Miss Wyatt, what are you trying to do? Her 3D model might be my favorite so far. She looks the best out of anybody. Her animations are so good. I guess she really meant it.
My Soren didn't do anything wrong. I'm the one who should be convicted.
Are we to understand that you're confessing your guilt?
No. Now wait just a minute here.
Ellen, why would you cover for me? After I testified that I thought you must have killed him. I'll admit, I couldn't believe my ears at first, but all I want is for you to be happy. Your happiness is my happiness, Soren. But without my notebook, I'd even forget those feelings of yours by tomorrow. Knowing that, do you still feel this way? You loved me all this time, the same way you did before the accident. That's how I know that you're the same person I've always loved. No disorder can change that. Ellen.
Your Honor, there are two things I'd like to correct.
2 corrections? What are they?
First of all, I want to withdraw one of my statements. Without memories to rely on, I took the police completely at their word.
You can't be serious.
So that means Soren never really doubted Ellen in the first place, did he, Nick?
Ellen really does love Soren with all her heart. But in order to save her, I'll still have to go after Soren. I hope you can forgive me, Ellen.
What is your other correction, Mr. Sprocket?
The truth is, I never felt anger or resentment towards Dumas about my sister.
What? Why not?
And that's because the one who caused the car accident was me.
Oh, shit!
I think that's a perfect place to end for today. That is a brilliant cliffhanger right there. Was me. Oh, shit. Well, tune in next week for the surprising and epic ending of this DLC. Now, I said I did have a plan. If the next stream is not full enough on its own, and I am probably going to stick to that plan, actually. As well as we might do some more Balatro next week, or maybe Monster Hunter. Maybe start Skyward Sword, I don't know, we'll see. But I know what my plan is, if we do beat it next time, which I think we will. But if we beat it too quickly, that is. Like, below 3 hours, I think. But yes, that will be all for today. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Foolproof, Laser, Big Boss, everyone who came in. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Yeah. Thank you, Progs, if you were watching this. I'll see you next time for the conclusion of the last Phoenix Wright game. Bye, everybody.